WJBW.
Oh, look at that. A couple live broadcasts within the span of 7 days. Oh, my God. We are here. The JB Rev Show live inside of Whiskey Lou's.
Right.
Lou's Whiskey Lounge. And our order of events kind of changed. We're going to accommodate, though, because tonight we have an awesome scheduled chat with
we do.
Lydia Lunch. We have Jim Faraday as well, and I think we're doing them both at the same time. We'll have Ross McCoy a little later and Madam Quinona to read somebody's tarots a little later. I don't know, things are going to get weird in here, but welcome to our humble little show. The Reverend over there.
What's up?
And, of course, here with us in the opening, the wonderful Miss Lydia Lunch. Thank you so much.
Lydia.
That would be Mr.
Oh, Mr. I'm so sorry.
King
Yes,
of New York, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
Down from New York, you did the Verbal Burlesque last night at Maxine's on Shine. It was a fucking awesome show.
Thank you very much.
You are welcome. And I love that you join into the Orlando vibe. A lot of spoken word goes down around here. So you're a big proponent of that. Your history is phenomenal, which we're going to learn a little bit about.
Indeed.
And, of course,
Epic.
after our conversation, we'll roll into a couple of tracks.
Sure.
some
James
good
Faraday
ones,
has
but-
been responsible for bringing me to Orlando for the past 30 years, so I've come here many times.
Along with many other acts, I
Many
must say.
thousands
Like,
of
yeah.
acts.
That's what. Then thank you, Jim, for that, because
Hell
Jim
yeah.
has actually really, has just shown me the light and has really been an essence in
Well,
my
he's
musical
the-
choice.
He's the perverted mayor of Orlando.
That is the best description I've ever heard of. Have you ever said that before?
Mayor of
The
Orlando.
perverted mayor of
What?
Orlando.
But also, I wrote Lydia a love letter, and
Yes, he did.
She responded to it. It was like really, really frightening. And I was doing a Richard Kern, like kind of this
Film
really cool
festival.
retrospect
Right.
in 1988, and she responded the next day to a letter that gave to Thurston Moore, and she called me
I was in
on the
Orlando
telephone.
watching my parents die. He did not believe
Oh,
it
my
was
God.
me.
in a Popka. Yeah,
Really?
I busted
my-
him. So
What?
he had written me a letter, had a Richard Kern retrospective the night before, and I called him the next day.
Oh, my God.
Pre-cell phones.
And I thought people were putting me up to it because I thought it was just so funny because I'm like, she goes
Guilty as charged.
She goes, I got your letter. And I'm like, oh, fuck me. Really? Seriously?
He's been begging me to fuck him for 30 years. He
No,
can't
no,
pay me
I've
enough.
jerked off to her more times than any other chick ever.
Wow.
Well, there's
he's,
a story.
He's booked more shows for me than any man alive.
See,
It's true.
there you go. And there's a storied history with both of y'all. So it's awesome that both of y'all are here. And I think in our
Yeah.
blog, we posted the 14th from 2014, the reunion at Sapphire that was done out at the Social, which is an awesome event, and you were both there.
Right.
But yeah, Orlando is this great place. So it's awesome, even though you're from New York, you feel a little bit of that vibe there in some of the places down here, Lydia.
Not really, no. I just bring the vibe with me.
Yeah.
The
There's
vibe
no.
is
Yeah.
you are the vibe.
Well,
That's a stupid question.
Why did it go pitch dark in this room?
Let
What's
me
going
let me go back to that. Look, there are cool people everywhere.
Yeah.
I hold no city, no state against itself. I lived in Pittsburgh for 4 years, which, by the way, is where Faraday is from,
Oh, yeah, that's true.
and Jerry Stahl. So, I mean, I think there's cool people everywhere. I'm a nomad.
Yeah.
I move every 2 to 4 years. I think there's good things happening everywhere. You just got to dig for them. And I think that Orlando,
right.
thanks to James Faraday, Shani Ray as well, other people,
Yeah.
that good things are still happening here. So I go where it's happening.
Yeah, McCraney.
Exactly.
Nicholas Salito from Modern
Exactly.
Music Movement. A lot of
Exactly.
people out there pushing cool
Greg
stuff
Hale,
forward.
Greg Hale, a lot of people who are here.
Absolutely.
I mean, the thing is, when you're in a shitty place like Pittsburgh or Orlando, you got to make it cool. You got to make it good because
Right.
good people are cool people are everywhere.
Absolutely.
Look, people think I'm so New York. I was in New York from 76 to 80. Then I left, came back for 4 more years, and I haven't lived in New York since 1990.
So, Lydia, do you mind if I ask you a question about that?
Go
about
ahead.
the whole you being in New York in the late 70s. Now, you were actually kind of spearheaded this whole genre called the no wave scene,
I'd say.
right?
Yeah.
Well, Mars was actually the first band, and they were also on the album No New York that Brian Eno produced.
Right. And then, of course,
Wow.
you were with the Teenage.
Teenage Jesus and the Jerks.
Right.
The Contortion sprung from that. DNA,
Right.
Arnold
You,
Lindsay.
you had a lot of influence on Sonic Youth. I mean, you were on.
I'd say.
Yeah.
And just that whole movement.
Well-
Can you Can you describe what it was like in the late 70s in New York City and being in that scene and breaking away from punks, if you will, from the CBGB?
First of all, I was never punk rock. I was always
right.
no wave.
Right.
Punk to me was jacked up Chuck Berry with a political intent and a fashion sense.
Right.
No Wave was dissident, antisocial, unmelodic. None of it sounded like, when you say any other genre of music, country, opera, punk, whatever, hard rock, you know kind of what it sounds like. When you say No Wave, it doesn't even sound like itself. It's just audience unfriendly, often non-melodic, brutal, and anti-traditional.
There's no wave. There's only the ocean. Right? Isn't
What's
that?
that?
There's no waves. There's only the ocean.
Well, that makes no sense to me.
Well,
But whatever.
well, okay, so that's a quote that.
That's the Reverend.
Yeah, but in
That's
any
right.
event, so where would that? I mean,
Look, New York at that period, let me break it
There you
down.
go.
Bankrupt. The president said, fuck you, New York. Purposeful burns by the fire department. The police were, shut down.
Right.
The blackout of 77.
Right.
It was infested with drug addicts, miscreants, misanthropic people. But then also, because it was so cheap, people came from all over to do shit there. My first apartment cost $75 a month.
Wow.
You can't rent a porta potty for $75 a day now.
Yeah.
So, I mean, a lot of people, the beauty of No Wave was that it encompassed photography, film, artwork, music, and everybody was doing everything. It's like, we have to do it now because we might not be alive. Basically, No Wave was also influenced by the failure of the 60s. We were very nihilistic because the 60s failed. We had to live through, as youngsters, Kent State, Nixon, the Vietnam War, Charles Manson, the assassination of the Kennedys.
Yeah.
And we knew that America was a fucking failure.
right.
And for me, No Wave for me was, we were punk rock was so stigmatized, so shitty, and there was film. That's the big thing with Richard Kern and what she did.
Right.
The Beth and Scott
was
Vivian
film
Dick.
was it was this whole really that's what we in Pittsburgh, Cleveland, Washington D.C. with Ian and
Megan Mackay.
Ian McKay and Henry Rollins. We just were loved the way they were doing stuff. It wasn't punk rock. It was so fucking different.
Right.
Well, I mean,
right,
punk rock was
right.
too traditional to me anyway. It's like,
Right.
I mean, when I started to create, first of all, I thought I was going to be a spoken word artist, which I still consider myself.
Right.
But there wasn't spoken word because it was post-beat, post-Patti Smith rock and roll, pre-Nuyorican Cafe. I had to start curating spoken word. So there was no spoken word, so I started a band that was half instrumental, Teenage Jesus and the Jerks. Figure that one out.
Okay. So I gotta say, Lydia, with the musical composition that you used, I mean, were you composing that music? Who was
I wrote
writing?
all the music, and you know
wow.
what?
Wow.
And it's based on nothing. I don't know a chord. I don't know a note. To me, a chord is something you put around somebody's neck. A key is something you use to open a door.
Right.
It was really just a teenage temper tantrum of sound, but it had to be extremely precise. The thing about Teenage Jesus and the Jerks is that we rehearsed chronically, because if you're going to be that dissident, you have to be extremely precise.
Right.
And then there's the mania of the slide guitar. So, I mean, that was actually it was the most brutal of all No Wave.
Well, and it's really raw and authentic too. That's what.
Well, for me, when I first heard it, it really freaked me out. It's it made me get inspired to do what I want to do in Orlando when I moved down here in '83. When I heard Lydia's stuff in Forced Exposure, which she was writing for,
Right.
and the band she was reviewing, every band she reviewed, I was like, oh fuck!
Some of them I really hated,
Yeah.
but you still like them. Anyway, I think the main point of also in the origins of my career, I mean, at the same time I had Teenage Jesus, which was short, hard stabs of really precise mania with slide guitar. I had another band at the same time, Favorite Slump, which was like a slug over a razor blade. So
Right.
my musical schizophrenia was already developed from the word go.
That's awesome.
See, and you were way before the Marilyn Mansons, all these
please.
people.
God,
well, that's
come
what
on.
I'm saying. All these people that kind of
Well, they ripped off Jim Thirlwell and Fetus. They didn't rip me off.
Right. And hey, to me, No Wave to me is more about the texture than the melody.
There's no
It's-
melody in most of it.
Right, and
it's
that's what I
anti-traditional,
mean.
anti-melody.
Yeah.
Anti-audience.
it's off the kilter. It's
The thing is,
left to center.
James Chance, who then formed the Contortions, he was originally in Teenage Jesus, but he was very hot, and Teenage Jesus was very cold, so I had to say, James, form your own band. He wanted audience participation. I'm like, don't you fucking dare.
Yeah.
So,
Nice.
Well, and somebody else that we had on the show, Groovy Man from Thrill Kill Call, we had him on a couple years ago.
Yeah.
And I know that you have done some work with them.
Who would
over the years.
expect? Who would expect? I mean, that I would work with Thrill Kill Cult.
Yeah, how did that come about?
Yeah,
Was
that'd
that
be an interesting
Look,
story to hear.
most of the people I've collaborated with, first of all, I'm a conceptualist, so I have a concept.
Right.
What does the concept sound like? Who is going to be able to articulate that? I never think of who do I want to work with. Very few people have ever approached me to work with them.
Really?
I approach them.
Wow.
But Thrill Kill approached me. And I mean, since I am such a musical schizophrenic, from no wave to jazz noir to swamp rock with Roland S. Howard, for instance, from hard rock to psychoambient, they proposed something. I said, yes, it's going to be sexy, I'll do it.
Nice.
I think the only people that ever approached me was Thrill Kill Cult and Omar Rodriguez Lopez of Mars Volta.
Oh, really?
Everybody else I approched.
Everybody else you were
So
kinda
anyway, and
reaching
people
out.
go, is there anybody you'd like to work with? No, because the concept dictates who I'm going to work with. But there is nobody I want to work with because the concept is what comes first.
Right.
Yeah, that's true.
That's
I
awesome.
mean, there's nobody. I can't. I mean, unless the concept dictates it, I know. It's not like, oh, I want to work with that person. Although I worked with a lot of incredible people, it's because the concept dictated it.
So, out of all the people you've collaborated with and worked with,
Yes.
what's some of the most proudest work you've done?
All of it.
Oh,
The fact that I've done more than anybody
Yeah.
wow. Okay.
and more diverse. And I think the most, I'm going to talk in reverse about that.
Yeah.
What's disappointing me about other people is how they are like one-trick ponies. They got one concept, one sound,
Right.
and forever they make the same fucking record.
No shit.
I'm like, I've never made the same record twice.
Yeah.
Right.
And the thing is, when people say, "Oh, I like your music," I'm like, "Wait, which era?" And not to be a dick, but
No.
because that might help me understand
Right, what-
when they came to it and what it meant to them.
Right.
You know, like
Yeah.
maybe they like the Roland S. Howard stuff, you know, which is very swamp rock. Maybe they like the most dissonant shit. It's just interesting to me, like who can know all of it? I've written 400 songs.
Nice.
Exactly.
I don't
And-
expect anybody to know all of it. I don't even remember all of it.
And we're
good
talking
eye.
with Lydia Lunch inside of
Yeah, we are.
Whiskey Lou's. Jim Faraday here as well, the Reverend across the way over there.
What?
Number
get-
one pimp, James Faraday.
Yeah, getting
doubt.
getting a lot of insight. Jim's been involved in bringing a lot of great music to Orlando. You know, so him getting this location here is just fucking awesome, and I can't wait to see what he does with it. Jim, are you bringing back the Dag Daddy, that crazy ass cocktail?
Why not?
Yeah. Oh my God, you're doing it.
The Dag Daddy. Yeah, I mean,
Why-
Remember the
not?
Dag
Why
Daddy?
not?
You should
Why
do
not?
that. The
Why
fucking
not?
Dag Daddy. Bring that
Oh,
Jolly
man.
Rancher martini back here. That shit was poisonously
yeah,
delicious.
You did come up with that shit.
Yeah.
I mean,
No, that was Shani. That was all.
Oh, that was
Shani.
Shani.
Oh.
Oh, well, you
Shani
get her
gets
approval.
Dag Daddy.
That fucking Dag Daddy was damn.
She gets all credit for that. Yeah.
Well, if you bring that back, that would be awesome. Lydia, you ever? What are your plans, kind of from here? I know you came down here, did a special thing. Now, Jim told me a little bit about something that you've been working on for a while. And it's basically what we're doing now, kind of like podcast interviews and stuff.
Well, I've just completed about 20 podcasts,
This
and
is
I'm going
so
to launch
cool.
them all at once.
Yeah.
But Kid Nativa Dodd, Russ Meyer superstar, Robert Williams, Michael Imperioli from The Sopranos, Jerry Stahl, Chris Hanley, Muse Productions that produced American Psycho, Virgin Suicide, Spring Breakers, writers, musicians, artists, producers, anybody that's weird enough to have lived this long.
right.
Wow.
That's
And
fantastic.
I think it's important because there is some kind of weird connective tissue between all these people somehow. I don't even understand what it
You're
is. but-
documenting it. So when is this going
Well,
to
the
be
thing
released?
is, what's interesting to me is probably June. I've always curated shit. I've always curated a lot of shows. I had to curate spoken word in New York because that wasn't happening. I've curated a lot of shows. This is just curating conversations. It's natural.
You know, just looking at some of the list of the artists that you work with, like you said, I mean, you've collaborated. You know, your answer to like, what's the proudest you've done, and you said it all. And you know, just looking at this list, I mean, you know, Nick Cave, Thurston Moore, Kim Gordon. I mean, it's just like
Those
Sonic
aren't the
Youth.
best ones. Omar Rodriguez Lopez.
There you
Jim
go.
Thurwell.
See?
Karen Finley, Exene Cervenka. Wanda Coleman. Roland S. Howard.
So let me ask you this, Lydia: is
Yes,
there
sir.
anybody that you reached out to that you wanted to work with that said maybe not?
No.
See, that right there lends the
because I
credibility
come-
of who the fuck you are.
It lends the credibility to the concepts I come up with.
Okay, well,
It's not even about who I am. What's interesting to me is a lot of people don't ask me to do shit because they're like, oh, she must be a bitch, which I am not, unless I'm paid. Trust me on that, I can be, but I'm paid for that. Or we can't ask the queen, which is bullshit.
right.
And, you know, mostly if people ask, I usually say yes.
Well, you've always been
Look,
in the
I've even-
driver's seat.
I've even narrated like somebody's heavy metal album, like a concept, almost like Voivod
Oh,
heavy
wow.
metal album. I mean,
Wow.
because it was cool.
Yeah.
So I've done some things, you know, that are very, well, everything I do is unexpected, but more people don't approach me because they're just like, we can't ask her. Well, why not? Because I'm going to say yes or no, no biggie.
Yeah, right.
That's awesome.
It's going to go one way or another.
So,
Thank you
Lydia,
very
we
much.
were talking a little bit before we started, and you're going to Europe in a couple weeks.
I'm there every 2 months because that's where I make my money. So I'm going to Europe. I'm doing 7 shows with the music of Alan Vega and Suicide and Mark Hurtado.
Okay.
All right, they were my first friends in New York.
Awesome.
I'm doing a week of spoken word workshops in Scandinavia and performances.
Wow.
And I'm performing with my band Big Sexy Noise, which is making a comeback.
Your band who?
What is it?
Big Sexy Noise.
Let's talk about Big Sexy Noise
Let's
for a
talk
minute.
about that. James Johnston, who's played with Nick Cave and PJ Harvey and
there
Gallon.
you go.
Gallon Drunk was their band.
Right.
And I've been playing with them in one form or another with James Johnston and Ian White for about 10 or 15 years. We took a few year hiatus, so I did Retrovirus. We're coming back with a new album. Our big song was Your Love Don't Pay My Fucking Rent. You can play that later.
Yeah, oh, cool.
Oh,
We
okay,
will.
yeah.
Yeah, grab that, Rev.
I definitely will.
That's my cock rock band.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Well, even with the proliferation, like around here, Jen of Genitortures, right? You ever have any interaction with her?
Not really, except
No.
we played at the same bill with her
Oh,
on
okay.
the Retrovirus show.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a bit too theatrical for
It is a
for
little
me.
much.
But, you know, look, I mean, anybody that creates anything, like, let them go. They're not doing it for me. I don't give a shit. I'm happy they're doing it.
Let them do it. Well, I love that you just keep fucking pushing forward, Lydia. I mean, I'll say that. That's what the vibe that I'm getting from you is. You just keep going forward
Well, I'll just
no
tell you a
matter
few
what.
of the things I've done in the past year. I
Okay.
recorded an album called Marquesa based on the philosophy of Desaad, Marquis de Sade. I'm born on the same
Marquesa.
day.
Okay.
And they came out in Europe. And I did all the psychoambient music. I do a lot of psychoambient music. So I did that. That album came out. I did a cover album with Cypress Grove. Cypress Grove went on the last tour with Jeffrey Lee Pierce of the Gun Club. We have an album called Fistful of Desert Blues, which is like Southern blues. We did a cover album including
Southern blues?
Oh, yeah. Oh, I mean, I'm there as
You're
well.
all over the place.
Right. Yeah.
I've done everything. So we did a covers album called Under the Covers, and that includes like covering Bon Jovi, Greg Allman, and Cracker. We do low. Yes, we did.
really?
Okay.
That's a great song. Nobody would expect it. It's like me covering Nirvana. It's ridiculous.
Right. You done Spooky?
Come on, that's so old school. That's ridiculous.
Right. I mean,
So I have a book of essays coming out that Anthony Bourdain wrote the intro to. The last thing he wrote before he was either murdered or committed suicide. I was on the last episode of Parts Unknown. I haven't seen it yet. I hear it's good.
Yeah.
I have a new book coming out called So Real It Hurts of Essays. I have a new album with Big Sexy Noise I'm recording. That's just what I've done in the last few months.
Wow.
wow.
Well, you got to do something when you don't sleep.
Right.
That's
Just
awesome.
saying.
So,
You know, nobody thought I'd live this long, especially me, but I used to be the baby. Now that I'm older than all you fuckers, well, catch up, sons.
Well, and that's just it. Talking with Lydia Lunch, James Faraday, inside of Whiskey Lou's.
you remind me a lot of like George Clinton or James Brown. Like
And
you're the
and
hardest
strange-
working
okay, strange-
woman
all right, hang
in
on.
show business.
Hang on. Now that you say that, I'm starting a band called Cuntadelic.
Cuntadelic.
Yes, I am.
Nice.
You just pull that out of my ass.
All right,
With
well.
the bass player of Retrovirus, Tim Dahl.
What?
And we're going to do like some cover songs, but it's going to be very like Betty Davis. Like he was a big freak.
Whoa.
Give me shelter, and then I'll do spoken word in it.
Like
Betty
loungy.
Davis.
Cuntadelic.
Kind of loungy.
Oh my
Well, let me
God.
tell you what else I've been doing. This is like the highlight of my career.
Okay.
Umar bin Hassan, Last Poets. The revolution will not be televised. I've
Yeah.
been performing with Umar bin Hassan.
Right,
And
right.
his big song was This Is Madness. So this is a 75-year-old black poet who basically, this was pre-hip-hop. Every hip-hop artist has sampled him. I've been performing with him. That's the highlight of my life.
Wow.
That was, yeah. There's some
Wow.
things online. Look up No Wave Out. Just saying it's what I do.
Right.
And by the way, she's sitting at my house, and I'm going to kill myself.
Come on.
Hey, I gotta say,
What? Oh, he's hugging her now. Okay,
real,
good.
real quick.
Why does he want to kill
I don't
himself?
know.
Because I'm leaving.
Oh, see, there you go.
Ah.
It's
That's
right.
the
I
right
love.
fucking answer right there.
I mean, I wrote her a love letter in 1988. She responded.
Yeah.
We've been
Yeah.
together for 33 years now.
Trying to.
I'm still waiting to
Trying
get
to make
paid.
it
Doesn't
happen.
matter. It's all good.
No.
So hey,
He's
Lydia,
lost more money on me than he's made.
Lydia, I wore these socks especially for you because there's you, me, and then there's these Jim Beam socks over here.
Well,
that
I'm
wearing.
looking for sponsorship for my podcast. Either Jim Beam is going to do it or Jack Daniels.
Yeah.
Really?
I
Yeah.
would
that'd
think
I mean, I
Jim
feel
Beam-
like I got the whiskey voice. It's like, hey,
Yeah.
have you heard about my new boyfriend, Jack Daniels? Hey, you want to have a three-way? You, me, and Jim Beam.
Yes.
If you're listening, I'm here for sponsorship. And
Hey,
Yeah.
that's,
There you go.
Yeah, that's
I
awesome.
do have the voice of whiskey.
Yeah, you do.
I don't even drink the shit.
That's awesome. We're speaking with Lydia Lunch right now. We're on the JB Rev show. We got Jim Faraday in the house right now. Man, this is awesome. I mean, just you talking about all the collaborations you've done in your life. I mean, I just like that's most people can't do that in.
Well, let me tell you a little about
3
collaborations.
lifetimes.
First of all, when I decide on a collaboration,
Right.
it's like I want the creative space to be like a sacred space. There's no bullshit. There's no ego.
Right.
I'm like there to allow people to do something that would not have been would exist without this marriage. I'm really positive with people. I'm like the den mother. I pump them up. I've got no ego. Look, I have ego. It's not about that.
Right.
My ego is to support other people's ego.
There you go.
And to allow them to do something that would not exist without this collaboration. So it's always that's why I can work with the same people for years and years on end, or so many people.
That's awesome.
It's like there's no bullshit here.
Yeah, and that's why.
None.
And you need that for collaboration, for real
Well,
good collaboration.
you're
You can't
dealing
have
with- exactly.
guidelines and shit. Yeah, you can't be in a box.
You want to create something that does not exist outside of that reality. And you want to do it with total encouragement.
Yeah.
To me, there's no mistakes. Nothing is wrong. Bring it to the table, and my choices have been immaculate, what can I say?
Absolutely. There's a quote that fucking Andy Warhol said about, if you're going to make art, just keep making it. Don't let it you
don't-
decide whether it's good or bad.
Well, you know
let the
what?
other people decide.
Easy
And while
for-
they're doing it, keep making more art.
Easy for him to say when he had other people creating his fucking art.
And you know what? Speaking of artists, let's talk about some of the people you were hanging out in the late 70s, like Pasquat and
I wasn't hanging out with him.
you weren't. He wasn't. I thought he was all.
He was on the scene. I wasn't hanging out with him. Look, Andy Warhol sent me an autographed copy of the interview. I ripped it up. I said, send me $100 bill, motherfucker. I did not like the Warhol scene because at that time it was the celebrity of death.
Right.
And like, we're doing shit. I'm not like praising Liza Minnelli.
But what
or
about Keith
shit.
Haring?
No, not my scene either. I wasn't into the graffiti scene.
Oh, okay, right on. Was there any particular artist at that time that you were into?
Absolutely, yeah, Marcel Duchamp. Because I think that
Awesome.
like surrealism is no wave. It's very surrealistic. It's very Dada.
See, this is a great. I'm really glad I asked you that question because you kind of tied in with Keith Haring and Pasquat.
But I have nothing to do with them.
Yeah, so it's nice to know
Basquiat.
that
Nothing to
Pasquat.
do
However
with
you
them.
say it.
Yeah.
Anyway, but the best website to go to find out more about Lydia Lunch is lydia-lunch.net, I believe,
Yeah.
right? Or is that a hyphen?
I guess that's right.
Hyphen or
you can
dash.
go to my Facebook. I don't run it, and I do not answer Facebook. I don't do Twitter. I don't do social media. Somebody does it for me. I don't have time. I'm working here.
Right. That's you. Yeah. Obviously, you're fucking going 24/7.
LydiaLunch.org. Perhaps you'll find it. It's up there. It's my
Yeah,
website.
just
It
Google
doesn't
that
matter.
shit right now.
Just
you
fucking
know?
Wikipedia it. Who cares?
Yeah, exactly.
You won't know everything you need to know anyway. You got to dig still.
Yeah, well, I'll
It's
say,
true.
You gotta dig
doing
it.
a little bit of research, anybody that's got a Wikipedia page, as long as you do, goes all the way back to 1976.
I haven't seen it lately.
You
I
gotta-
don't have any fucking
Oh, my
idea what
God.
they say about me.
Yeah,
Whatever.
it's fucking awesome.
Yeah, believe what you will. You're still not going to know the fucking truth.
That's why
There you go.
we're very honored to have you as a guest. Thank you
I'm
again,
very
Jim.
honored to be
for
me.
si-
Thank you very much.
Well, no, to have you as a guest. I mean, this is
Thank
like,
you.
it's awesome. And got nothing but mad respect for you.
Yeah.
And the more I talk to you, the more it's like, you're blowing my fucking mind
Well,
over
it's
here.
fantastic to hear the background, too, because we always love to learn about people's origins,
Well, of course. And look, I mean, New York, look, I have to say, I was in the right place at the right time, but I've lived in many cities. I went from New York to New Orleans to San Francisco to Pittsburgh to L.A., London, Barcelona for 8 years. And it's like, I was a nomad for 4 years until recently because I didn't want to live anywhere. I went to Louisville, Kentucky for a while. That's also cool. And it's like I was never seeking a center. Sometimes I moved because I didn't know anybody there. I moved to New Orleans, I knew one person. I moved to Pittsburgh, I took a survey on tour.
Wow.
It's like, it depends on what I need to do where.
Right.
My collaborators don't always live where I do. I think there are many cool places to live. I'm not done living in places. I just packed up my apartment yesterday. It's in storage. I'm a nomad now again.
Oh, damn.
And I like that. It's like weird.
It's like a part of the recipe of what you do.
Well, look, the Beat Generation was all men being nomads. Now there's a lot of women I know, artists who are nomads. It's just like sometimes I've been homeless many times in my adult life, is the price you pay for being an artist.
Right,
That's
right.
fine, whatever it takes. I'm not going to stop.
So, do you mind if I dig a little bit deep with you, Lydia?
Go ahead.
We talked
Try
about
me.
we're going to the late 70s. Where were you born? Who brought you up?
I was born in 1959 in upstate New York.
Oh,
Okay.
cool.
I started going to concerts. So I'm listening to music at 12. I'm reading Hubert Selby, Henry Miller, Decide at 12. I don't even know how I got these books.
Okay.
I'm listening to the Stooges, Velvet Underground. There's a college radio
knew
DJ.
it.
College radio DJ. I literally knocked on the door of the radio station at 12:13, going, I need free tickets. I'm poor. I can't afford it. He gave me free tickets. He goes, why don't you meet this promoter? I did. The promoter would get me in backstage. I'm 12:13. My dad's dropping me at rock concerts. To my mother, I'd say, it's for my career. She said, what career? I said, trust me on this. So I saw, for instance, Sally Can't Dance, the Lou Reed. I saw that. I saw The Lamb Lies Down on Broadway. I saw Roxy Music. I saw Kiss. I saw the
Roxy
Hoople.
Music?
I saw so much. And I'm backstage at 12:13.
Yeah.
What?
And this was when you could still be a respectable groupie. Hello.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well,
Let me just tell you, Paul Stanley's tongue is better than Gene Simmons. I'll just say that. And that's when I'm 13. I'm sure I'm in the Polaroids now.
Exclusively. Yeah.
Now.
That's
By
great.
the time I'm 14, I did my first acid party poetry in Buffalo, New York. Tubes. I went to see the Tubes. And I was snowed in. Fortunately, two blonde twins whose parents were out of town let me sleep at their house. Anyway, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I did my first performance at 14 at an acid party in Buffalo. But I ran away at 13 to New York for the first time.
Okay.
And then I went back and said, I need to get money. I don't want to suck dick in an Iranian shoe store. Yet. So then I go back at 16, and I move into a loft that Kitty Bruce, Lenny Bruce's daughter, has just moved out of.
What?
And my first friends were Suicide. This is like a cheap 5 and dime paperback novel.
Yeah.
Suicide
Wow.
were my first friends.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
First concert I saw in New York when I moved. I moved to New York. I went to New York at 13 because of the New York Dolls.
Right.
yeah.
Okay.
And Willie DeVille gave me my name of Mink DeVille.
Really?
I didn't even have a band yet.
Willie DeVille
this
gave
is
you your Lydia
interesting.
lunch
I
name?
didn't know that.
Because I know
Because-
you're Lydia Cock.
Koch. Thank you very much.
Wow, Lydia Koch.
Suck my
Listen
Koch.
to him. Suck
But
my
anyway,
Koch.
Like the mayor.
I met.
Thank
I
you.
was hanging out with Mink DeVille. We were really poor. I got a job at a bar for 2 weeks. Stole food, walking down the street, bringing them food, and he just says Lydia lunch. I didn't even have a band yet. But let's go back a minute. 73. I'm on St. Mark's Place. I'm 13.
Okay.
And I see a guy in an Iggy Pop T-shirt. I'm like,
Okay.
who are you? He was to become Stiff Baders. We became pen pals. Rochester and Cleveland before he was Stiff Baders, before I was Lydia Lunch.
Wow.
This is just a storied life, my friend.
Wow.
We were pen pals. Pen pals.
Yeah.
So let me ask you
Hence
this,
I need
Lydia.
lunch.
How old were you the first time you got up on stage in front of people
Well,
and
I
did
mean, okay.
whatever it was you were
Okay,
doing?
14 at an acid party in Buffalo, that doesn't count.
All right. No.
All right,
On
16,
stage
17,
with a microphone.
CBGBs, Teenage Jesus and the Jerks.
Okay. So, and how old were you then?
17.
17 years old.
And trust me, it was tight.
I bet. Yeah. I mean, shit.
I knew what I had to do. I mean, I went there. I thought I was going to be a spoken word artist, but I knew what I had to do. So look, I'm going to the stage for the first time.
Okay.
I'm walking up.
Right.
I'm like, I have a bit of panic, but I'm like, wait. This is where I became myself. I'm like, I'm not the one to panic. I'm the one who's going to cause panic. I never had stage fright again.
Wow.
And trust me, people have been panicking ever fucking since.
Yeah.
Oh,
Thank you very much.
That is awesome.
That's
See,
a great story. Thanks for sharing that with us.
Yeah. Have you ever shared that story before, by the way?
I
'Cause
have.
That's amazing.
Well,
That's
look,
like-
and so I'm 17.
okay.
Richard Hell terrified of me. David Byrne terrified of me. You know who wasn't? Lenny Kaye and Robert Quine of the Richard Hell band.
Okay.
Okay.
So Lester Bangs, I mean, the greatest rock writer ever.
All right.
For some reason, would write about me in every fucking article. And him and Robert Quine, one of the greatest guitar players on the planet, Richard Hell and the Boydoids and Lou Reed, were my, like, I went up to Bob Quine, Robert Quine, first Boydoid show, said, you're my hero. He had a screwdriver in his pocket. He wasn't afraid of me. He produced Teenage Jesus. He played on Queen of Siam. These are the people that matter to me.
Yeah.
Nice. You know what's really funny
Well-
is it was kind of you said a very, very obvious statement. Of course you scared the fuck out of David Byrne. Are you kidding me?
Please, Psycho Killer?
Yeah,
Yeah,
right?
he knows when he
It's probably
sees
a
one.
song about you.
He knows when he sees one.
Well, too, I mean, what you've been saying is really a testament to the community in a lot of big metropolitan cities, and kind of like Orlando too, where people take people in and they help them kind of grow and cultivate and do their own thing.
All
You
right,
can't tell a fucking tree how big it's going to grow or whatever. You got to let it.
Let me just start
do
at
its own
this.
thing.
I arrive in New York City for the second time.
Right.
And I go back. I arrived there at 16, 17 off the Greyhound. I go to a club I heard about called Mothers. I knew that Wayne County soon to become Jane County, was DJing there.
Okay.
But I didn't know
wow.
he'd be there. And I also wrote to Wayne County as a teenager, and he wrote me back.
It's kind of like
I-
what Jim did with you.
Oh, wow.
Exactly. So I arrive at Mother's, fresh off the Greyhound, a couple of hundos in my pocket, which is a lot of money in those days. One
Right.
suitcase, some notes.
Yeah.
I go in, there's Wayne County.
It's still a lot of money, by
I'm
the way.
like, I'm fucking in heaven. Here's Wayne County. Terrible band is playing. I pick up the lead singer, move into the loft that Kitty Bruce is moving out of. That I was always a hustler, HUSTLER.
Yeah.
That's where it started.
Damn. Shit. That's where it started.
Well,
and that's where
it started when I was 12, when I started writing and listening to music and reading.
So
Well,
you
but see,
really-
I love to see that you still have that same spirit.
She kept
Yeah.
learning and growing and making this hustle
so
the-
authentic.
The fucking biggest thing ever. It's like I've never heard quite a story like this ever.
Nobody has it.
Well,
Yeah.
and we talked a little bit about the influence of the no wave kind of a movement, and as
She
far as I'm
spearheaded
concerned,
that.
I love that you're still doing what you're doing, and fuck
I still
people for
consider
not.
myself no
Well,
wave.
I'm glad nobody's defining it, right?
How can
because
you? The thing
yeah,
is,
yeah, that's the
I
thing.
mean, I do all kinds of music, but I still describe myself as a no wave artist, which means audience unfriendly, non traditional,
Right.
authentic, surrealistic data.
yeah.
Genuine too. I mean,
Whatever,
just like,
call it what you will.
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, everything
And we
you
don't mean
said
the
and
rapper
more.
genuine. Thing is, I really love rap music. I mean, Mr. Cole is like one of my favorites. Scarface, that would
You
be
do?
my homie.
Yeah, that's
Oh
what
my God,
I was,
Scarface! Are you kidding? That
My homies
Lady
is one of my-
Scarface?
I was going
no,
to ask
I'm
you.
talking Scarface the rapper.
Oh, okay.
Ghetto Boys, honey.
I was thinking your song, Lady
Yeah,
Scarface.
I was going to ask you: are you into
That is
modern
awesome.
music? Do you listen to shit that's out
Well,
there today?
I mean,
if so, what?
I like to know what I don't like, so I listen to whatever comes down the pike. But I don't listen to music in my house for the most part. Like James has music going 24/7. He sleeps with the fucking music on.
Yeah.
I mean, I need to.
I didn't know that.
I don't listen to music in my house. If I do, it's instrumental. But I like to know what's out there because I like also to sometimes be on a bill with people.
Right.
But I mean, I really like Carla Boslick. It's not new. Geraldine Fibbers, Evangelista, but it's great.
Okay.
I like A Place to Bury Strangers. Not new, but still great. There's people out there. It's very hard, though, now. I mean, I like
Yeah.
what Weasel Walter does. There's a lot of out jazz in New York now that's good, but it's very difficult. I mean, the thing is, and it's all really, who are the individuals that are striving to not only survive, but thrive beyond?
Right.
You know, Lydia, you're fucking amazing. I'm gonna have to listen back to this podcast like 3 or 4 times just
Take
to get all
power,
the
baby.
names that you've been, using, and it's just amazing, where you come from and what you have become, and just how
Yeah,
much
we're-
you've really driven a
we're
whole
privileged
scene.
that
Much like
we're
let
able
me-
to talk with you.
Hey,
Seriously.
can I finish? Much like Jim has
okay.
here locally, I can understand why you guys are such great friends, because you both are like
Well,
overachievers
both curators.
and
Exactly.
yes.
Curators. He's curated the city.
Yep.
And he's orchestrated the scene
Yes.
here like an amazing conductor that I'm forever grateful for.
He should be elected to a high council and
You know,
get the money
he
he,
should.
deserves.
He's putting
'Cause
his
if he gets-
headphones back on.
If he gets the money he deserves, he's going to give it to me.
Like you said, he's
At
the
least what he
perverted
owes me
mayor
for
of
last
Orlando.
night, goddamn.
For sure. He's,
Hello, and I'm the king of fucking New York. This is Lydia Lunch. You got that right, son.
Rock and roll.
God.
Talking with Lydia Lunch. Jim
we are.
Farady's hanging out over there.
Yeah.
We're at Whiskey Lou's
we
Lounge.
are at Whiskey Lou's
By
Lounge.
the way, one of my alter egos is Big Lou. That would be Whiskey Big Lou.
All right.
You don't want to meet that fucking bastard out of dark alley anytime of night.
I guess
No,
not.
thank you very much.
I don't
Give
know,
us a
man.
whiskey. What is his name?
You got my money?
Big Lou.
Big
Big
Lou.
Lou.
You want to give us anything from Big Lou? Can you channel
If I
him?
do, you won't be
Oh,
walking.
we don't
Yeah,
want to.
don't-
Yeah,
don't
hide
put it
the
on the
pool
spot like
sticks
that.
over there.
Don't
Okay.
goad
Maybe
me.
it'll come out.
Don't goad me. You will get it, and you will be sorry. But
Man.
I'll be laughing.
This is awesome.
Anyway, this is Lydia Lunch, and yes, we are on this podcast right
And
now.
we're doing a 50th anniversary of a tribute to Lou on April 14th.
But that would be
Sunday
Whiskey
afternoon.
Lou's.
Sunday here.
Whiskey Lou's, yeah.
April
no, we're in the
14th.
parking lot here. Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay, so let's talk.
Let's say that again. 50th anniversary
talk
of
about
Whiskey
that a little more.
Lou's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
James Faraday is now in charge of Whiskey Lou's.
Right. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Oldest bar, one of the oldest bars in Orlando where you can still smoke.
Yeah, exactly. Well, you can still smoke here, and
Pool table's good
Wall-
jukebox.
and Wally's is going to reopen up. Wally's is older than Whiskey Lou's, but Whiskey Lou's.
Well, that
Okay.
closed and reopened. This man, now it's a goddamn staple.
You got to go
of,
backward to go forward sometimes. You got to go backward to go
massive
forward.
legacy, mega legacy.
Legacies.
Mega legacy. That's a good way to say it.
Yeah.
And Lou was a gangster, was really cool from Chicago, mobster.
Yeah. And you said April 4th. You're doing
April 14th.
April 14th.
April
Get the date
14th.
straight.
And so,
a 50th.
I got to clear something up
That's
too, real
awesome.
quick, because you got Whiskey Lou's, and then you got Wally's. You got Wally's. I don't know if you heard this, Jim, but last week they were just towing cars out of their parking lot
Maybe
while
his
they're not
car
even
got towed
open yet.
yesterday. He can't
You
find
would
his
never
car.
do that shit. And they're not even open yet, and they were doing that. You didn't hear this story? It was yeah. So,
There's a lot going on in Mills 50. I guess
yeah.
people were using the parking
Even
lot.
Will
Okay.
Walker was like, "What the
Oh,
fuck?
well,
This
that-
isn't how you treat your
all right.
neighbors,"
All right.
Yeah. So,
all right, city commissioner over
Hey,
there.
yeah,
Right
I got
up-
the perverted mayor of Orlando sitting right in front
Hell
of me, man.
yes.
Of
You
course,
got the
I'm
king
going
of
to
New
talk
York
about
and the
this.
perverted mayor of Orlando. What the hell more could you
I
ask
like
for,
to call
kids?
Lydia
I like to
came up
call
with that,
Jim
not me.
Orlando's Bill Murray. I love that.
Oh,
I love fucking
Excuse
love
Excuse me,
that.
excuse me, what has fucking Bill Murray done but act like an idiot?
Fat Bill
Now,
Murray.
James Verity might sometimes be an idiot, but he is still
not
the
fat,
fucking
Jim.
perverted mayor of
He's a
Orlando.
classy
Perverted
motherfucker.
mayor
That's-
of Orlando. I'm
Look,
going to stick with that one.
Look,
'cause that's
he's
like,
done more
okay.
for this town than Bill Murray's done for fucking Warner
Okay.
Brothers.
and he's done a lot more. He's
Culturally,
but he's been here a lot more than Muddy Bear Dyer.
Muddy Bear.
Fucking Bloody Bear Dyer. I mean, Jim's
Buddy
been away.
Dyer.
Buddy Dyer, that
You
guy.
said
I think-
Muddy Bear Dyer.
I think this is a new act I'm going to form, Muddy Bear Guy. It's both a suicide, that is, the audience commits suicide, and it's based on the music of Muddy Waters. That will follow
I
coincidentally.
can't wait to start that new punk band, Muddy Bear.
Can't even say it.
Muddy Bear Dyer.
Muddy Bear
Muddy
Dyer.
Bear.
It's just going to be called
God
mumble.
damn it.
Hey, man.
Like,
God damn it.
I've heard of mumble rap. This is going to be mumble punk.
Yeah, Mumble Punk.
So just so you know, Lydia, our current mayor right now is Buddy Dyer. Is his name. So that's
Oh,
where
wow.
I was coming up with
I
the
thought
Muddy
that was the guy
Bear
that shot
Dyer.
himself live on
He
TV.
got it.
By the way, he's a badass.
Yeah, he
Buddy
is a
Dyer.
badass.
Buddy
He-
Dyer is awesome.
We love
He's
him.
been a
Yeah.
big friend of me.
All
Yep.
right, buddy.
There's no doubt.
Buddy, you're my buddy.
Yeah,
You want to talk
he's-
a little bit about me slapping the senator's son? I don't think so.
Yeah.
No.
Tell us another story.
Well, that was at Bullet Bar, which actually frightened me.
All right.
I tried to stop.
Can I explain it,
was
please?
like slow motion.
Can I explain it?
Dude, take it over.
Let me explain it.
All
All right. Big Lou's going to take it
So
over.
decked the state senator's
Hang
son.
on.
Great.
Back it up.
Don't
We're
date
gonna let
the state senator's
Let the
son.
storyteller.
Can I talk? Back it up.
Okay.
I wanted to perform.
Lydia Lunch.
I wanted to perform at a sit-down place because I want to do a bit of psycho-ambient spoken word, a little bit different. Yes, everything is
All right.
different. In a
Weasel
place,
Walter drumming.
Weasel Walter with psycho-ambient music, a little bit different, a little bit quieter.
Lisa Walter.
Instead, Weasel Walter, you have it some other time. Look him up, bitch. Anyway, instead, Faraday puts me in this fucking funky bar. Fine. The sound sucks.
Yeah.
All right, that's fine. It's drums, backing tapes, and spoken word. Now, I politely ask somebody, which I can be polite, who's yapping at the bar. Everybody else is listening. If they want to talk, please take it outside. I asked him again twice. I asked him 3 times. I race at him and slap him in the fucking face. This is old school. This is old school lunch.
Well, all right.
I give him a good whack, and trust me, I can whack. I'm like, take it, and then his girlfriend jumps up, and I'm like, I don't slap bitches back up. So Faraday comes to the stage and goes, Lydia, grab your purse, get off the stage. I'm like, I'm like, stop the music. Stop the music. Now I'm like Lou Albano. This is old school spoken word. I'm like, I'm doing the same text. But now I'm doing it like Lou
It
Albano.
was Lou Albano.
Lou Albino.
All right, Lou Albano.
Whatever.
So now I'm
Albino.
doing it like a fucking wrestler. Same text.
Yeah.
But I'm like, stop the music. There are men waving white handkerchiefs in the audience. Now, some other idiot comes across the front of the stage with a keg of fucking beer. And I know what he's going to say.
What?
Why are you so... Hang on. Why are you so... And before he can say angry, I whack him in the face.
Oh, my God.
Now the bouncer comes up. Lydia, you can't insult the audience. I'm like, they're insulting me. So then James comes up again. Lydia, you got to get off the stage. I'm like, I'm not getting off the fucking stage. I'm finishing my show. So then I finish my show. I'm like, Weasel, get up there, do a drum solo. Faraday comes to me. You slapped the senator's son. I'm like, if he wasn't such a bitch, I wouldn't have slapped him. Now. This was old school spoken word.
Wow.
It wasn't like
that's how you
Maxine's
do it.
civilized
Yeah.
performance last
Yeah.
night. Because you know what? By now, people know to keep the fucking trap shut when I'm talking.
Amen.
To quote Farrakhan, I'm talking.
There you go.
All right.
There you go. Lydia Lunch in the room in the back
Oh,
of
yeah.
Whiskey Lou's here. This is like the VIP pool room.
James,
that
did
we're
you have
in.
anything to say
Mr.
there?
Faraday?
I know you.
Is that the way it went down,
Mr.
James?
Jimmy
That's
King.
the way it went
Is
down.
that-
That was a great-
100%, and I'm still scared shitless.
Yeah, that was a great story. Well,
I'm
you
like,
got to
I
go
am
home
not
with her. You
getting
better,
off the stage.
yeah, you better be careful.
Look, when I first started doing spoken word, excuse me, When I first started doing and curating spoken word, it had to be 10-minute sets, maximum.
Okay.
Because nobody could take it.
Yeah.
Who couldn't take it? Men. Who am I against? Not the average man. Men in positions of power that fuck it for everybody else, including the average man.
Hell yeah.
Now,
Awesome.
I had to build violence into my sets
Okay.
Yeah.
to prevent it. For instance, I'm just going to give you a few examples.
Please.
All
Please.
right. I'm at a festival called The Feminists and the Misogynists Together at Last. They didn't know what I was.
What?
They did not know what I was.
What kind of crazy festival
It
is that?
doesn't matter. Me and
All right.
Annie Sprinkle, various other people. Some guy from the back of the room. I'm doing my usual patriarchal bullshit bring down.
Yeah.
Some guy from the back of the room suck my dick. Come up here. Now, this is when I was dressed in military gear, had a blackjack, a
What?
mag light, and I said, okay, he comes to the front of the stage, suck your dick. I crack him in the neck. He falls to his knees, suck your own dick. Now, a few more examples of good heckling. I'm opening, what am I, an idiot, for the Rollins Band in Cleveland at a frat bar.
Okay.
Spoken word for the Rollins Band. Someone says, show me your tits. Hey, they're my
my
proudest.
God.
Excuse me, you see my tits? Still
Okay.
fucking good.
Yeah, yeah.
I show him my tits. They've been well advertised. I said, I got the mag light. No, show me your dick. Rollins Band pulls his pants down. That's why they call it a mag light. All right, I'll give you one more example.
All
Now
right.
I had to start building in violence.
Okay.
Okay.
Building in violence to prevent violence. Because
Yeah.
only once in 40 years has it been a woman drunk enough to be stupid enough as a man, right?
Yeah.
So, all right. So now Richard Kern and I are in on this. We're like, we got to build in some violence here. So we're performing in L.A. at a punk club. Why are we doing that? That's idiotic. I'm doing spoken word. I have somebody, a local, everybody knows him in a white shirt. Richard Kern starts in on me. Shut up, you New York bitch. Nobody knows who he is. And I'm like, fuck you, come up here. He fake blood stabs my bouncer.
What?
Half the club clears out, doesn't come back.
Oh my God.
I used to have 2 chicks on stage with baseball bats.
Yeah.
That was old school. Because
Yeah.
you know what? It was always drunken, stupid fucking men that didn't know. I was trying to protect them from the bullies of the patriarchy, from God the Father, the fucker, and every other asshole that bullied any man that was a fucking weirdo.
Yeah.
So they didn't get
Yeah.
it. They got that.
Amen. Well, thanks
Amen.
for doing that. Fuck
Amen.
yeah. Thanks for doing
Wait,
that.
wait.
By the way, I toured with Lydia for 30 fucking years.
Yeah.
That's
and,
awesome.
And did a tour of 30 days with me and Exene Cervenka.
So wait, Lydia, I gotta just say something real
Go
quick.
ahead.
Out of all the people I've even ever conversated with,
Yeah, this is
I'm
great.
super attracted to you because you were like so intelligent and
Yeah.
like so well spoken and
And
so
authentic.
like it's
Fucking
yeah.
real.
I mean,
It's refreshing.
and I mean it's nice to like.
I'm attracted to myself as well. Thank
You should be because you're a beautiful woman
Well,
and
I mean,
like
look, it's
that.
the faggot
You're just
inside
like
me.
it's like you're it's awesome. I
That's
mean, you
Big Lou, the faggot inside me.
Yeah.
How
But-
could a man not be attracted
we
to that?
both know most people are just fucking retarded, stupid, anyways.
Well, you know what? I give people the benefit of the doubt until I want to kick them into their own grave that they spent their whole life digging. That's fine.
There you go. That's
Look,
awesome.
I don't deal with idiots. I've been around a lot of intelligent people
Yeah.
with heart and fucking soul, and
Right.
that's why I carry on. It's not only about me. The thing is, when I'm doing spoken word, it's not about me.
Right.
I mean, they are all true stories, but I think that women especially can relate because they've been in similar predicaments. So, I mean, the reason I have the voice to do spoken word in the beginning, from the age of 12, I knew I was going to do it.
Right.
Is my story is not the worst. I
Right,
have
right.
a perspective that I think encompasses anybody that's sick of being fucking beaten down, battered because they're weird, because they're too smart, because they look different, because they're poor. So when I had the power that I hoped, I am the voice that other people cannot articulate. I am the scream they need to hear.
Fuck yeah.
And people that come to that know that. And anybody that comes by accident, like a senator's son, is going to get a fucking beat down. You don't
right.
need to be here. I don't need you here.
Right.
And you know what? Preaching to the converted. Oh, converted to what? Preaching to the perverted. Hello. I'm here, Lydia Lunch, with the perverted mayor
Lunch.
of Orlando, James Bailey.
Just Google
Awesome.
Lydia Lunch,
Yes.
the wonderful
Or
Lydia
don't.
Lunch.
I don't
hanging
give
out
a
with us.
shit.
Yeah, do what the fuck you want. Give
You know what,
people
when
room
I-
to grow.
You know what I say? DIM, not DIY. Do it myself.
There you go.
That's
Fuck
awesome.
Thank you very
Awesome.
much. You know what?
Lydia-lunch.net,
You'll find it,
lydialunch.org.
or
Just
whatever,
Google that
Facebook,
shit.
whatever,
Yeah,
you'll find
it
Yeah.
anywhere.
Give a history lesson.
In closing, we're going to run into a track of yours.
Yeah.
That
Oh,
one
I've
of-
got something
one of
queued up. I
400.
don't know what he's got. Did
No,
you get that?
you know what I'm playing? I'm gonna play the Stooges, 1970.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh,
So yeah. We'll
okay.
get a little something
All right.
that, you know.
Well, we'll slide some of your stuff in there a little later.
I really
Absolutely,
don't.
we
You know
will.
what? Why do you slide 400 of my songs?
We
in
got
there? Good luck.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
got
right, yeah.
we got Ross McCoy coming up after this.
Thank you very much. I appreciate
Oh my God,
Thank
Lydia.
you, Lydia.
Thank you, Lydia Lunch.
A wonderful
Jim,
session with you.
Thank you.
thank you
very
for providing
You fucking
this
rock.
atmosphere and the entertainment and the artist and like everything, Jim.
And April 14th,
And
Jim will be back. We're
50th
gonna work with you.
anniversary at Whiskey Lou's Lounge. That's right.
April 14th.
We're the first
Look for
podcast,
that.
by the way, that's ever
damn.
podcast out of
Yeah, I
this
think we're
building.
the
There will
first
be more.
internet radio show ever to broadcast
Yeah,
out
so-
on Whiskey Lou's.
There
And
will
there you
be
go.
more.
That's
We did it with
the
a bang.
accolades. Jim
that's
Faraday, Lydia
very
Lunch,
much.
we thank
All
you
right,
both so
breaking
much.
out.
All right, we're going to
Got
run
some
into a
Stooges.
little bit of track, kind of reshuffle our deck here.
Yeah,
Get
man.
Ross McCoy up here, who
All right.
you'll love. Ross McCoy, he does a shit,
Thank you again, Lydia.
shit sandwich comedy showcase.
Fuck.
You'll
I
love
bet he
this guy.
will.
Yeah, you'll like him.
All
Anyway,
right.
all right, Rev, give us the music
All
over
right,
there.
all right.
Yeah, all right.
JB Rev Show.
We'll be right back. It's the JB Rev Show inside of Whiskey Lou's.
Beautiful baby, be my love.
WJBW, Orlando, Florida. The first quasi-radio web show.
Wow. Yeah.
Oh my God! This is the JB Rev Show. We just we're talking with Lydia Lunch.
What a fucking 45 minutes that was. That was awesome. That was a great way to start the show. We changed around our lineup a little bit.
Yeah, and rightfully so.
It was worth it.
She's
Yeah.
top shelf. Like, that's the best thing I've ever heard in my life. I'm gonna have to listen back to this podcast.
She dropped so many
3
names.
times in slow motion.
Yeah, right.
There were so many names. I mean, so many people she's collaborated with.
It's amazing.
I mean, and the fact that she approached all the people, I mean, that's even more amazing. And that everybody she approached, because I asked her directly, I said, was there anybody that you really wanted to work with that didn't want to work with you? And she's like, no. And she's worked with like over 300 artists. Like, it's incredible.
It's remarkable.
Incredible.
Anyway, well, that was a hell of a way to open the show.
Yeah.
Thank you,
JB
Lydia
Rev
Lunch.
Show. Yes.
Nice,
Jim
healthy
Faraday.
session. to
We're here
start
at
it
Whiskey
up.
Lou's.
And we're in the heart of the Milk District, and we got a man that is the
At
man,
Whiskey Lou's.
man of the fucking Milk District, I will say. Shit Sandwich Comedy Showcase he's done for a few years, I think 2 or 3 years, too, maybe.
I think we're
2.
going on 7.
Are you going
Wow.
on 7?
See,
Oh, my
already.
God.
Yeah.
All right, well, we got Ross McCoy back here. Very
Ross
appropriate.
McCoy.
You got
How's
to
it
follow
going?
Lydia Lunch, brother. And
Yeah.
I know,
wish I knew who that was. You
You
guys
got the
won't
chops.
stop saying the
Oh,
words
my.
Lydia Lunch, and I have
gotta-
no fucking
Dude.
clue who that is.
Google that right
Shoot,
now.
Google that. Yeah, she is like the forerunner of this whole new wave movement.
No wave. No wave
Sorry, no
movement.
wave.
Not new
like
wave.
Sonic Youth and
It's the no
Thrill
wave.
Kill Cult.
No,
Anyway,
it's- anyways,
she's the
listen.
fucking heiress of the lunch fortune.
listen to the show.
Listen
Yeah.
to the
Dude
show. for
invented
real.
lunch back in the day. There was not a midday meal.
Her dad invented lunch.
There was
Thank
not
you.
a midday meal, and then Mr. Lunch invented that shit.
That's
and
right.
She's still riding that way.
See, that's
True
why
story.
we wanted you on.
Anyways, let's not
Now,
disrespect
you
our
can
president.
answer a question for me. Is it whiskey with an E or without the E?
I'm pretty sure
Yeah.
it's
Here?
with an E.
I think it is with an E. I
This
think
one?
in
Where we're at right now?
No, how you spell the word whiskey
Just the
in
word
general.
whiskey in general.
Yeah.
Fucking Google that right now.
The
bro.
drink now, if you want to describe something that is being the process of whisking, like I'm being really whiskey right now, bro. I'm whisking the shit out of this batter.
Yeah, that's funny.
That's whiskey with no E. That's
Okay,
whiskey.
you're right. Or you're right, I guess. All right. So I like that. There you
Yeah.
go. Well, that's not what we're here for. We're here to learn about people.
We're
and-
here to watch Cougars sing Nine Inch Nails
And play pool.
closer,
Yeah.
uncensored while they're playing pool. That's
Yeah,
what we're here
that's good.
at Whiskey Lou's
That one's
for.
not a cougar. She's his daughter and
Don't-
then his wife.
Yeah, don't
That's
spoil
two
the-
people you're talking about.
Yeah,
Just
don't
in
spoil
general.
You know.
the ambiance. It's a whiskey loser. There's lots of
Just
people
kidding.
here. People come here
Yeah,
and
there are a lot of people.
hang out. They're used to what we're doing. We're getting dirty looks because we're taking up the VIP pool room.
Is
I'm
that
so
what's
sorry.
up? I didn't
Yeah,
know
that's-
this room was here. I didn't
they-
know you guys
yeah,
It
were here
wasn't.
when I got
This
here.
is
So
new.
Jim,
Should you be burning a candle on
I
the
think-
VIP pool table?
I don't know. We're not doing that. That's Madam Q, who later is going to do a live tarot reading with
I know
someone.
bars where they don't like shit on the felt.
Yeah,
Like, are your keys on the felt, sir?
No.
Please get the fuck out of our
you're
bar.
right.
That's right. No, you're exactly right. I don't
Should
know.
at least
I'll,
put a
I'll
coaster
talk
on
to her
that.
about that. Yeah. Okay. Put a coaster. Thank you, Rev. All right.
Especially if it's the
Doing
VIP
some
table.
Yeah, without question. Yeah, and it's the red table. It's got the nice
Yeah,
red.
it's
But
the VIP
anyway,
red
Whiskey
table.
Lou's inside of here. You got a lot of locals. There's mirrors in the right places, so this place looks fucking huge. And it's not that big, but it's legendary.
This is the first time I've been here, not walking through the door, blackout drunk already.
Yeah.
And there's not a biker gang here for the first time.
Oh, please.
There generally is a biker gang here
on,
when I
man.
am here.
Yeah, usually a pretty tough crowd is here at Whiskey Lou's. But that's what Jim's doing. And he told us something cool. Do you remember the Sapphire Supper Club? You've been here
Nah,
long
a little bit
enough.
before my time.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
You know where you know where the social's at.
Yes.
That's where the
So
social is,
Sapphire
yeah.
is what
Okay.
started the social.
They used
Social
to-
wouldn't be what it is today without Sapphire.
Okay.
Basically, social was handed the torch, if you will. You know, so I mean, it was because of Jim Faraday, who owns the bar that we're in now,
Yeah.
Whiskey Lou's,
So Jim-
Okay.
and because of Shaney, they were the two proprietors of Sapphire Supper Club.
Yep.
Brought in all the fucking amazing acts. Actually, even before that, Jim Faraday was part of his. It wasn't so. It was. Oh my God! It wasn't Cellar
Orange.
Door. It was because that was Cellar Doors before.
Okay.
Oh, it was
a grandpa time.
no,
figure
dude.
it
It
out.
was his
Is it-
his label. All the amazing acts
The
that he
guy
brought
was in the
Orlando.
movie with Harrison Ford.
Remember? And he said, "Yeah, I will
so
take
wait.
off my clothes if you do this."
Hey, wait, hear me out. All right, both of you guys, Ross. I mean,
We're
I was
trying,
born
we're
here, been here my whole life, and Jim Faraday. I said earlier, he really kind of brought like all the amazing
did.
acts to Orlando.
He
If
did.
it wasn't for Jim, half the acts never
The
would have been
G.G.
here.
Allen.
No, dude, no. Like Flaming Lips, Sonic
Yeah,
Youth.
okay.
Like I go on and on. But and it
Anyway,
it's, yeah.
The point is he has ownership of this bar now, so awesome
Yeah, where
stuff
we're-
is going to
yeah.
be popping off
Yeah,
over
that's
here.
what we're
We're,
hearing.
we're super
We're
excited.
the first
about it.
podcast
Anyway.
ever in
I
this
was
building.
gonna ask.
Yeah,
I
so
don't think
that's-
anybody's broadcasted from here, so we're doing it
Super
first.
interesting.
There
And
we go.
Jim brought us our, Lydia lunch
Yep.
and I mean, so yeah.
Well, let's get a little bit into Mr. Ross
Yeah.
McCoy. I know he
guys. Give
just,
credit where credit's
just
due,
this
Rex.
last weekend you did the Shit Sandwich comedy showcase, and that's
Yeah.
always at the Bull and Bush.
Correct.
Is it right,
Bull and Bush.
right up the road.
Not
First
right
and
around the
third
corner.
Saturday every month. Yeah,
Not even
yeah.
up the road. It's literally
Alley across the
You can
street.
throw a
Another
rock.
alley. You're there.
You can
What
throw a
are
rock
the
at
dates?
it.
It's a consistent gig.
Every
right?
month, it's the first and third Saturday.
First and third Saturday.
Correct.
Yeah.
What about like
first
are there-
Saturday comedy, second Saturday trivia,
All right.
third Saturday comedy, fourth Saturday
Oh man, you already lost me.
trivia, unless
I
there's
don't-
a fifth Saturday,
I
and
only
then the
care about
fourth
comedy.
Saturday's blank, and then the fifth Saturday's trivia. It's a fucking crazy schedule, but
This whole thing sounds like trivia.
just call the Bull and Bush any Saturday and be like, is it
The
trivia,
Bull and
comedy,
Bush.
or a fucking blank day, Scott?
Well, so
Hey.
and that's awesome because I know there was a year I think you won. You've won a lot of Orlando Weekly for your Twitter feed. You've won a lot of best of for comedy.
we generally win third best comedy show at the
Why?
Shit Sandwich. Well,
Why?
because first of all, we don't give a fuck. We don't promote for it at all. It's
Yeah.
always we're constantly surprised because we don't promote in any way or give a shit about it at all. And then it's
That's why I'm
always
glad you're
Sack.
doing this.
It's always Sack and the Improv win 1 and 2, and
Yeah.
they care and obviously
They-
tell people to vote and shit.
Got
and,
a lot of money behind it. Yeah.
and do more volume on a
Volume.
weekly basis. And so I always say we're Orlando's third best comedy show, but we're the free one.
Yeah.
Oh,
You're the free one. And
but
that's beautiful.
you should at least in some way incorporate. We're also the funny one.
Yeah.
Because
But
I'm
it's
trying to
the
give you that
law.
opportunity to be
Any
funny.
given weekend
and it
at
hasn't
the
happened
at
yet.
the Improv, there's a great show.
Listen to the Rev.
At SAC, there's always probably a show going on. And,
Probably.
yeah.
But
But
Ross,
Nothing
never
against
Bull and
those
Bush.
guys.
There's no show going on
you
there.
bring people
No,
in.
no, just darts.
You give people a
kidding.
chance
What's that?
to do stand up right here.
Nah, we're a showcase. We you gotta have a little
You
you
gotta
gotta have a
have
little
some
sand
kind of
under your
shit.
belt.
No open
Yeah.
mic. Where are you coming from? What are you trying to be
Well,
funny?
I'm talking
right now?
about these Bull and Bush, or
Yeah.
the nights at the Bull and Bush.
Yeah, no,
Those
you
are
drunken
all.
monkey. You gotta sign up.
Okay, you
go
gotta
up night.
go through a
Yeah, you
process.
gotta do
to
some
get
other
there.
bar
Can I maybe
time.
go there, show up
Yeah.
at Bull and Bush, and
Oh,
be like, "Hey,
God.
let me tell you something."
He'll be like, I can't remember this joke. It's so funny.
No.
Wait a second.
I gotta
The
Buddy
great
Dyer's the mayor.
The great thing about Shit Sandwich for me is that I host the show.
Yeah.
So I bring everybody up, I bring everybody down, I open and close the show.
Bring
But
them
my,
up, bring
my
them
buddy,
down.
My buddy Doug books it. So anytime anybody asks me if they want to be on the show, I just say, you got to talk to Doug. You got to
Yeah.
send him a video. If Doug
Yeah.
says it's okay.
You got to send a video.
Yeah, well, if he
Wow,
hasn't seen you
like a
before,
high sample
if he
of
hasn't
your
seen
work.
you before, yeah.
Wow.
That's why when my buddy Matt Gersting started the Shit Sandwich at Bull and Bush, it kind of
Okay.
it bridged the gap, which this town didn't have. We had
How long
open
ago
mics.
has this been going on?
I think
When did
we're-
Max
I
start
think
it?
June-
You said 7 years.
I think June will be 7. I'm not sure.
Sorry,
Wow.
I know that you said it earlier. I was just kind of bringing it back to the people that just now
A
tuned in.
lot of places do the showcases now, but this show kind of bridged the gap between open mics
Right.
and then the pro shows in town. And it kind of was designed for that, and we try to keep it in that spirit for people who have like a good 5 to 10 minutes but aren't getting booked on paying shows yet.
So speaking
Okay.
of pros, let's talk about you've been on pro podcasts before, right?
I guess so. Yes.
Yeah, kind of like
Been on pro.
Well,
podcasts
you've been on
before.
a lot of radio. I think weren't you even
Right.
a part of Soma Cal?
Yeah.
Right.
yeah.
I think we talked about that
Okay.
with you on the
You
phone.
can talk about whatever you want. You don't.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay,
he's all
I'm
coming
sorry.
up.
I
No.
just,
care.
I just was
let's-
like, I don't
hey,
want to.
this
I
is
don't
the
wanna
real deal Holyfield right
Open
here.
the portal.
All right.
Open the portal.
So,
and
hey,
then
once
anything
again-
this
AMA,
man
I don't give a shit.
doesn't
Hey.
hashtag me too. I don't
What-
want to talk about that.
Hey, shut up over there. Turn your mic down.
He touched me. Okay.
All right, so listen. Hashtag we do this shit for real.
Yeah, we are. real.
Hashtag
Yeah,
we don't have
All right,
merchandise.
nothing's off the table.
Hashtag we don't make fucking money. Hashtag we do this for the love
Say
of our
what-
community.
Say what we want.
Hashtag let's ask the real questions.
Oh, hashtag my 2 cents.
All right.
Larry King.
Yeah.
King's things on Twitter. My favorite fucking hashtag.
Are you on Twitter?
Yeah, I've been
Yeah,
on Twitter
at L
since
Ross. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
for
just
quite a
said he
while.
won an award for having the best Twitter
No, I
feed.
never
Ah.
got that. I lost
you
it.
didn't?
I lost it to SBK one year.
Wow.
I lost it to fucking Dwight Howard one year. Like I'm talking,
Wow.
first and second place. But,
Holy
Yeah.
shit!
but it was the year Howard left.
But
That's
you're
the year he
hilarious.
went to the Rockets. So I officially, when he left,
I don't know.
when he left, I felt I was Orlando's best Twitter at that
Yeah,
point because that motherfucker's
yeah.
in Houston.
'Cause he left. He
yeah,
dipped
he
out.
abdicated the
Yeah.
throne.
All right, so you've been on radio before, like
Yeah,
FM?
I've talked on the fucking waves this before?
Yeah.
Which one? So let's talk about that. Let's act like let's tell our listeners what FM.
A little history on Ross McCoy.
Yeah, well,
a deep
At this
dive,
point, I don't care.
a deep
I'm not on the radio anymore. I don't
Well,
have
okay.
I don't have any fish to promote in that barrel.
Yeah.
No, I know. So, like, what show? Where did you? I mean, I'm not really asking sincerely. Like, what radio stations have you? Like,
Okay, I was
everybody,
on-
he's shaking his head at me. Like, people are listening to this for the first time, and they don't know who the fuck
Ross
you are.
McCoy's
Okay.
never been on the radio.
All right,
Okay,
I'm
so
asking
there was,
sincerely.
You want a little background?
Yes,
there was
you go. How about a background
there
of
was
your
a
radio?
little- Oh, let's go way back. There was
All
this.
right,
Yeah.
there you go,
Dude, let's
like
go way
Lydia,
back.
That's
Well,
awesome.
let's talk about
There
your
was this
history.
radio show called The Hideout.
A lot of people
And,
don't know this.
Oh.
Dude, way
All
back
right.
in the
The
day,
Hideout.
there was this show. You guys remember The Hideout?
Yeah. Don't you?
Don't talk about the hideout. Don't, dude. Oh my God, I can't believe you're talking about the hideout.
Stop that, Reverend.
Well, I mean, come on. I'm asking sincere questions. You guys are over there
let's-
freaking out.
let's-
So
I
this
want
is
to talk
like-
about his history.
Well, you weren't asking a question at first. You just-
Well, I really like to know
All right.
Dude,
your
so-
history.
We're going to get to some point.
like cooking dinner for my kids and shit. I would listen to the show called The Hideout, and I
All right.
finally one day worked up the courage to call, and I got a call in the air.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
And then that led to like these guys had a message board. You guys remember message boards like
Yeah.
back before fucking Reddit and shit?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
These guys had a message board, and one of the things that they did was they were on the radio, and so
Right.
they found this clip of this guy getting fucked by a horse,
Oh,
and then
I love that.
and they
Tell
like
me
to
more.
they like to play like viral content and talk over it, kind of
Love
like.
your history.
Yeah.
So this piece,
horse.
the radio station wouldn't let them play it. They
All right.
decided we'll do it anyway. We'll record it on our own, put it up on our
Okay.
fucking message board.
Yeah.
And then you go to the message board and download it. And that was
you
kind of
could-
the first,
Like secret content.
and
Right.
it was kind of the first podcast that
Yeah.
I knew about. I had to go buy a fucking MP3 player to listen to it.
Right.
You know, like-
Okay.
and then that led to me being on a different message board, which led me hooking up with my buddies Mickey and Jeff and Jay, who were SoMaCal.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I got on that podcast, and then when that went under, I got on Tom and Dan.
Yeah.
And I
On
was
FM.
Well, it was a podcast at first.
So-
I got in with them when it was Fridays only, podcast only. They were still working for the radio station.
But you
I
weren't.
was with them. No, I didn't work for radio.
All right. So, have you ever been on the FM dial?
I have. So I worked with them through the period when they went to a full time podcast,
Okay.
and then they started doing radio again.
All right,
And
right,
at
right.
that point, yes, I would record radio shows with
The
them.
corporate time.
But we would never like go to the radio station and sit down in the radio studio.
Right, right.
and
Yeah,
have, like,
it was all
dump bugs.
pre-recorded.
It was all in whatever studio they were
Right.
in.
Okay.
They'd record it and send it off to be played.
Right on.
And under those circumstances, I've been on the radio. And I've hung out with the News Junkie before. I've been to like 2 live Shannon Burke shows.
Yeah,
so-
Shannon Burke. Shannon Burke was fun, though. I know he's got a gig in
I've
Atlanta,
heard of
and
her.
then somebody else bought the station. I just saw, like a Christian radio bought the station. Now he lost that.
He got fucking
anyway,
Jesus
that
on
guy
his
will,
forearm, dude. He'll blend right in.
That guy will land on his feet.
Dude, and speaking of which, I was just thinking about this weekend. Dirty Jim came out to Shit Sandwich this weekend.
Jim Colbert?
Oh, he did?
And so I was thinking about the fact I believe I am the current reigning champion of Beat the Crickets. I think it was think it was the last time they played, and I won.
Okay.
For the first Monsters comedy contest
Yeah.
that they did.
Right, right.
Yeah, I
One of the
remember.
slots decided by Beat the Crickets, and I believe, I haven't listened in forever, but I think that's the last time they ever played it.
Yeah.
All right. So
Yeah.
that's
See,
a
so
little
he's
bit
got
of
some
history.
chops. All right, there you go.
See,
You
and I didn't
where-
know any about this
on.
about you. I know. So it's like you guys are all like trying
Don't
to tiptoe.
don't let him talk. It's a talk
Right.
show. Make sure he doesn't talk.
So what the fuck happened?
That's the one that he was trying to chop off. That's the one that he was trying to cut off.
I don't know.
No, basically, I decided my kids were more important than Tom and Dan. I was putting a lot of
Right.
effort into those 2 guys.
Right on.
That my family would have been better served off having
There you
put
go.
into them, and then they are. My family's so much better off now, dude.
Yeah.
It was a little bit scary there for a while, and
Right.
they needed full-time dad back, and
That's,
so that's
awesome, dude.
That is amazing.
Long
Yeah.
story
See,
short.
there's a reason
Under-
I'm asking this. I didn't know.
Under
that. I don't like you
under
know,
a lot of different. If I didn't have kids,
I
if
keep
I
this
was
shit real.
if I was willing to put up with like what they were paying me, like if a lot of things were different,
Yeah.
I
Right,
would
right.
love to. I would love to still be doing that. I would love to be going to the live shows and interacting with
Entertaining.
fans
Yeah.
and throwing out little fucking jokes every fucking day. But
Fun.
it just wasn't in the cards.
Word.
Speaking of cards,
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
speaking of cards,
We're
he's
gonna play
segueing
some,
to the Madam
Oh,
Q
are you
has
trying
a
to get out of
whole
here?
tarot
No.
set up over there.
Nice segue.
thank you.
Speaking of cars,
later we'll get a live tarot reading. I don't know if anybody's ever done that, but we're going to try it.
Madam Q?
Madam Q Quinona is her name. Madam Quinona, but Madam Q is going to give us a little live tarot reading. I guess I brought someone came that agreed to have their tarot read, so that's going to happen a little later.
You guys remember Q from Star Trek?
Right.
How fucking cool was Q?
Yeah.
Dude,
No.
that was my favorite character. And it was Next Generation.
Correct.
Hey, wait.
TNG. Yeah, hell
Wasn't
yeah.
Q also in Tron?
No.
I
Fuck
think
no.
He
Fuck
was
no.
I
the
think there was
guy.
a character.
The guy
Yeah.
who did Tron.
They
But
used
he wasn't
that Q
Q.
character a
The
lot.
ultimate god of the universe.
a
that
representative
can
of
make
the Q
anything.
continuum. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But he was also not the Borg.
That's
The-
true.
The Borg.
The Borg.
That's
The
true.
Borg. Could you imagine if Q? They should have done a Q and Borg episode and see them like
I'm not that
fucking
much of a Star
compete
Trek
and fight against each other.
geek.
They should make a fucking movie about that.
TNG
Q
was the
versus
shit,
Borg.
though. I did
Wait.
spend like a summer rewatching all of TNG.
Who do you think
on
would win?
Netflix.
Q versus Borg.
Man, I want to say that happened one time, but I couldn't.
No,
I couldn't
man,
put my
come
fucking
on.
fingers on it.
This is the one time when Q shut up and Borg was in. And
Where
like,
are we going? I think we're in
I
a
ain't got time
ditch
for
right
this.
now. The Reverend.
No, we're talking
Bringing
funny
us in
shit.
a
We're making
ditch.
people laugh.
Is
That's
it?
what Ross does.
Star Trek?
Makes people laugh, bro.
Star Trek: The Next Generation.
He just hasn't
Oh,
done
I'm
it
so
once.
sorry.
I'm not talking about
tonight.
fucking red shirt
Yeah.
interns
Okay.
here.
Anyways,
So through all of that, you've got
Yes.
you got the ability to your comedy showcase still pumping and moving really great. Your family pumping and moving really great, which is super
For
important.
sure, yep.
Super important. So saying all of that stuff, I saw recently there was something about a video, a Sci-Fi Channel, if I'm right, or something like that.
yeah.
You were involved in producing. Tell us a little about that. I think that's interesting.
yeah.
That was actually it happened a while ago, and
Okay.
it was there was this lady Brittany Joyner from
Okay.
LA, and she
Right.
she kind of I don't know what she's doing now, but at the time she was doing like these little I don't even know what to call them, like the one.
Vignettes or something.
Yeah, like a little video of something that's like referenced in a movie but never actually happens. Like
Okay.
there's the one I think they did right before us was a Harry Potter one where some wand they talk about or something or some magical item that's discussed but never viewed, and so they made a little story about it. They filmed it in fucking Harry Potter at Universal,
Really?
like guerrilla style.
Oh, that's cool.
It was pretty neat. And then so the one we did was like these two guys in the convention in Stranger Things. Like at one point the sheriff's like, "Yeah, Henry and Dale are still missing." And so, like, she wrote this story of these two hunters that go get lost,
Like
and
made
they,
a subplot. Yeah.
and they
kind
end
of a
up in
thing.
the Upside Down. And so, yeah, we did that. It was pretty sweet. And then
That's cool.
I guess Sci-Fi Channel voted it like one of their top 10 fan content films of the year or something.
Okay. So, okay, yeah, we're gonna make sure everybody's taken care of. But in saying all of that, you know, you have basically a face. Would you suggest people follow you on Twitter? What's the best way for people to connect with you? Where are
Twitter,
you most
L
active?
Ross, Instagram, L Ross Graham, and then Facebook, facebook.com/L Ross right there again. So all that stuff is pretty good. You can add me on Xbox. I'm Plum Artifact 905. We'll play some Fortnite. I got to clear that fucking.
yeah.
I got to clear that fucking duos challenge for the overtime challenges.
Are you big? Are you big in the gaming?
I play Fortnite.
Yeah, you do.
That's
so
what I
you're really into it.
Yes.
Yeah. See, because I think you know, I love the kind of games that are strategy role playing games.
Sure.
You know, where you got to think about stuff. But I always stick with the same game for like years. I'll never go try anything.
I'm like
else.
that too. Like I played my share of XCOM for a while. Like that was my go-to on the Xbox, and then I frankly Halo kind of put me out of.
Right.
I couldn't play Halo. Like I just couldn't acquire the skill set, and I thought I was just done with anything that involved those
first-person
top buttons
shooter.
and like all the side buttons and switching around. I didn't think I could do it, but then Star Wars Battlefront drew me back in.
Oh,
Kind
yeah,
of.
that is a great game.
It was good, and I got really into
I
it.
love that game.
And I actually developed the skills because I grew up on the fucking Nintendo up down,
Yeah.
left right A B select start, and that was all the fucking buttons you had. It took me a while to even get to like N64 controllers, and then the Xbox controller was a mystery to me for a long time. But Star Wars brought me back in, and then while I was waiting for Battlefront 2 to come out,
that's
along
where-
came Fortnite BR.
They like added the Jedis in that one. I think that too,
Dude,
That
by
you
the
could
t-
be,
so-
like special characters.
I fucking sold everything every game we had to GameStop for the pre-order for Battlefront 2.
Yeah.
And I was so excited, dude. We had it like 6 months in advance, the deluxe version, all that shit. We had it pre-ordered, and then Fortnite came out, and I started playing that, and I was still excited. I was like, this will fill the gap until Star Wars comes out, and then EA fucked it up so bad, dude. It was unplayable. Battlefront 2.
Yeah.
I played through the story mode missions, and then the online.
It just got boring as hell.
Well, no, the
You were
story
like,
the
hey.
storyline was great, but the online, it was just unplayable unless you were willing to spend $1 million fucking on loot boxes to acquire the powers you needed to beat anybody.
Fortnite's a little different, right? Because you can like see yourself in the third person. Almost.
Correct.
It's not like your hands are just there.
You know what it's
your
like to
whole-
me? My favorite game back in the day, I loved fucking Mario Kart, and I loved GoldenEye.
What about asteroids?
Did you hear they're bringing a Mario Kart? I don't know if it's here to Orlando.
live
Did
action.
you hear about that?
I think it's done in Miami. It's Florida somewhere.
No, we're doing one in
But
Longwood.
They're doing
next
it about.
week.
no shit.
Yeah,
Next
I
week.
don't know if it's.
We're doing it.
No, shut up, Reverend.
No shit.
No shit. Yeah.
Shit only.
Exactly. What?
It's shit only, bro.
Anyway, I like Mario Kart and GoldenEye, and Fortnite's like it's a modern GoldenEye in my mind. It's kind of the same skill set and the playability.
Yeah.
The building is different. That's the only thing different, really.
Oh my god, it's so different.
Well, do you? How much time do you think you spend playing that shit?
There's a screen that tells you.
Is this
it's-
Red Dead you're talking about?
No, Fortnite.
Oh, do you really? Did you play Red Dead or?
I
Whatever?
played the first one and I really liked it, but honest to God, I am fucking like stuck in the swamp of Fortnite. I can't get out. I can't play anything
Wow.
else.
So,
just a
as much
trap.
as it's has hypnotized you, imagine what it's done to our children.
Well, I have a kid,
Yeah.
and he plays a lot too. Now there's another one though. There's another one called Apex, and he's on that. So,
So, how old is your kid?
this guy's 11.
Wow.
Wow.
Well, good job. See, you're being a good dad. So sometimes you got to occupy your time with stuff that's like
And by good dad, he
giving
means
you,
horrible.
Well, no, by giving
kidding.
you visceral joy. I mean, you're interchangeable.
Visible joy.
Visceral. Anyway,
Visceral.
so let's pin this up a little bit with the comedy showcase. So every what are the times you're out
Every
there?
month, the first and
Every-
third Saturday.
First and
and
third.
third
Yep. Unless there's a
Saturday,
fifth.
out at the Bull and Bush.
This one would be the fourth, so it would normally be trivia, and here's where it gets complicated again.
This is
They're
trivia.
doing Rocking the Robinson next Saturday, so that like everything's shut down. There's nothing going on.
Yeah, everything's shut down. Actually, they close all the businesses and they make everyone leave.
No, it's
It's
there.
shut down
They're
completely.
They're just not trying to do trivia in the middle of it, you know?
Oh, of course not, because the whole area is shut down completely. You can't get near it.
They just right to the whole
It's
area.
fucking
No, but the bars
shut
and everything
down.
can be open, but they
Nope.
just don't really have events.
Down.
Trivia
because-
is shut down. I should have
Oh.
been more precise
There
in
you
my
go.
speech.
I thought you meant the whole milk
No,
district.
No.
'Cause-
All the bars are open. I think it is like roped off and shit though.
Yeah,
'cause they got
rope
a
off
ticket.
the
Yeah.
even TG Lee is like closed down as a plant.
Fucking milk drivers got to pay a ticket price to get in and deliver their milk. It's fucked
Duh.
up.
Yeah, it's fucked up, bro. Shut down. Hey, let's talk about your shirt a little bit.
Let's do it.
That is awesome. I like it.
Okay.
What is it? Is
This
that
is-
Fortnite moves?
It is. Yes. It's,
Oh my god! How did I swear
It's
to God?
Fortnite emoji dances, and I just
Wow.
I was so happy today. My wife wanted this fucking ridiculously expensive vacuum cleaner at Target.
Yeah,
And,
you said I got to get my Fortnite shirt.
And I was like, okay, if we're getting this fucking multi-$100 vacuum cleaner,
What kind of vacuum cleaner was
she
it?
got her a Dyson, homie. She got her a
Oh,
Dyson.
dude!
And she works hard. She deserves it.
But
So-
listen, Shark is just as good as Dyson.
and here's the thing.
All right.
She had
Had
a
a
shark
shark.
picked out
Okay.
that she liked.
All right,
And she was willing to accept this shark
Okay.
into her life and let it
which
be
was
her
like
vacuum.
$300 cheaper.
Oh, it was so much cheaper.
Yeah.
But she really, really, really wanted the Dyson.
Listen,
and,
so this is where
and she kind
Prada.
of left it in my hands.
This is where Prada and Nada comes into play. All right, you're paying for the goddamn the brand, if you will.
Do you think so?
Absolutely, dude.
Is it
Shark-
worth it, do you think?
Have you ever had Have she ever had a shark?
No.
Dude, you should start little. It's like promise little and expect. How's that fucking thing go? Or
If you love something, set it free.
No. It's something like
Nature abhors a vacuum.
offer little but deliver a lot, something like that. Anyways, I can't remember it.
Promise
but
little,
Let
deliver
me
a
tell you
lot,
something.
yeah.
Shark is where it's at, dude.
Okay.
And because I went through this, and actually, I bought my wife. We don't have any children, but we have 3 cats, so we need a good vacuum. I got that Shark for her for Christmas, but it wasn't. I know how terrible that sounds. Oh, you got your wife a fucking vacuum cleaner for Christmas, but it came with the promise that she would never have to use it. That I would be the only guy using it, right? And I did my research, by the
Okay.
way.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I actually went to a Dyson. I think Best Buy. It was I forget where I went, but I used the Dyson, and then I fucking went ahead and bought the Shark. And dude, that Shark is amazing. It is a Shark, but it's all right. You went with the Dyson. If you ever want something really expensive that can do something that you can pay a lot less for, Dyson's where it's
Do you
at.
think we don't have a vacuum cleaner already?
Well-
we have a fucking vacuum cleaner at our house.
You
she
do?
wanted a new one. She wanted a stick one, and you know who I blame?
stick?
You know who I blame? I blame Marie fucking Como. Have you seen this tidying
my
up
God.
shit?
Yeah.
My wife is. She watches tidying up videos.
She's the
on
one that came up
YouTube.
with the dildo is the original selfie stick.
I don't know about that, but that's okay.
I think that was her that came up with that.
So now she. And,
No, I know
and
exactly what you're talking about.
It's not that this doesn't benefit me.
about
Like
how to tidy up your home.
my
Right,
underwear
yeah.
is very
Throw away
nicely
shit.
folded right now, and that's real nice. I appreciate that.
Original selfie stick.
I don't think so because this lady just straight up speaks Japanese and lets the interpreter do the hard work. She doesn't. She doesn't.
Okay, come on.
So she left it in. Here's what happened. She left it in my hand. She's like, I want you to buy it for me. Here's the shark I want. If you get me a shark. Otherwise, I want the Dyson V10 Animal.
Damn.
So she was like, shark, blowjob, Dyson,
Name
anal.
of the thing is animal.
That's what she said.
It's animal
Oh my
fur.
Dyson
It,
all the
it
way.
picks up the fur and
Oh.
whatnot. So
It picks up the
so
fur.
I went.
Picks
I was-
up the anal mess.
I was going to get this vacuum cleaner for her. I stopped by
Right, Shannon?
I stopped by my weed guy's house, and I said to my weed guy,
Right.
we're out back smoking, and I was like, I'm going to get my wife a vacuum cleaner, and he goes, no shit, a Dyson, and then my choice was made. I had no other fucking choice.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got
What are you gonna do?
Too bad I wasn't there. No, you're getting the shark, right?
I think that show.
Duh.
But that show, you're exactly.
I would have saved you $300. We would have been much closer right
My
now.
wife
Dude, you
didn't even
should've seen
watch
her.
that show, and she's cleaning
Oh, I
the
bet.
fucking throwing shit
So
out.
now you're getting anal. I
When
understand.
she got home and saw that Dyson box, and I had it charging already.
We already know what happened.
She was so fucking happy, dude.
Right.
Yeah,
And you were too.
making her life easier.
It's
That's
her
what,
money.
You like to make her
It's
happy.
her money.
It's she's the. Oh.
Hey, what do
Well,
you want
duh.
with your money?
You should have gotten
No.
her
God, you should
the
see my-
Dyson XL.
That's how a relationship works, right? You got to
Duh.
have back and
Fuck
forth.
the
You
shark.
got to have the back and forth. You do. You do. And talking with
and when I
Ross
said Prada or
McCoy
Nada, it's always Prada.
inside
Never
of
the Nada.
Whiskey Lou's or Lou's
By the
Whiskey
way.
Lounge, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, so out
It's
here,
a Pokestop, you guys. Did you know
April
that?
4th. What?
It's a Pokestop.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Pokestop.
This is Pokemon?
Yeah.
Pokemon.
Yeah, you can find Pokemon. Look, there's one right there.
Anyways, you guys.
The Ross McCoy, L Ross on
Hey,
Twitter,
Ross,
I believe is the
Let's
best
talk
way
about
to
that
follow-
watch
follow
on your
him
wrist
there.
right now.
Yeah.
Did you get that free with a fucking Sports Illustrated subscription?
There's nothing wrong with the Casio. I like,
Wow.
I
No,
roll-
come on.
I
That
roll-
came
Wait,
free
wait,
with
you're
some
just
sort of
knocking
subscription.
on our guests.
I mean,
No, I'm not. Look at this watch, dude. Look
oh.
at that fucking watch.
this
Okay,
is
you love it. It's retro.
this is
I
the
love it.
Casio
Hey.
Darth Vader. It's
Look
a
at
nice,
that.
shiny
Oh, shit.
black plastic
Very nice.
Casio.
Oh,
Nothing wrong with
Darth
that. 10-year
Vader.
battery life.
The
Nice
Darth
light up
Vader.
face. What do you got, homie? That's not a bad watch. What do you got?
I don't know.
You did okay.
Just some piece of
You're
shit.
just going to
Yeah, it's just
okay.
$5,000
All right.
fucking watch, bro. We don't want to talk about
What do you
my
got?
watch.
What do you get? A Breitling? You got
No,
a
it's a
fucking
diesel.
Audemars Piguet?
It's
It's
you
a
know,
diesel.
It's a diesel.
diesel.
It's a
Oh, now
Prada.
we're talking about fashion watches. Get the fuck out of
He
here.
re- he,
It's
doesn't
a
he
Prada.
remind you of Drew a little,
Not
a
a-
little bit?
a little bit.
A little bit, yeah.
If he was funny,
Oh my God!
but Drew is hilarious. So,
Can you rap?
know.
No.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do a
Can
funny
you-
off. Me and you.
I'm gonna take it drugs. 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 I'm gonna take it.
And we'll be right
I'm gonna
back.
take it drugs.
I'm gonna take
JB
your
Rap
drugs.
Show.
I'm gonna take your drugs. I'm gonna take your drugs. There, that's my rap. I'm gonna
That
take
was-
your drugs.
That was ridiculous, man.
Anyway, you want to run into a song?
Let's do that.
All right.
Is it that
But
song
Ross,
again?
It's
can you-
not that song.
Yes.
No. Let's do a song that I'd like
Well,
to.
no, you're not hooked up anymore. I'm here. You want to be hooked
Dude,
up?
yeah.
You've been
Hold
disconnected.
on. Well,
Why would you disconnect me?
You went
Of course,
away.
I had the music.
Okay, well,
set
you,
up all
you
night.
went away. You went.
I
away.
went, dude. I told you I was coming right back. I said 3 minutes. Wow,
You guys both have collectively left this. I'm the only person currently on mic who hasn't left this show during this
Yeah,
interview.
I know it's horrible. I'm so sorry. We had a guy scheduled to do the tarot reading, but I guess he left.
okay.
He just kind of dipped out.
That'll
So
happen. It was
I
guy
got
that's
a
due to
backup.
tarot
Did you
reading.
check the alley? He could be mugged in the back
I
alley.
You
got
can
a-
read my cards.
I got a backup. I
I'll
think
be-
he had too many Jamesons or something.
That will also happen in Whiskey.
Yeah, it was too. And
Yeah,
he was,
how are we going to get a
so he was
microphone
like-
over to her?
Well, we're going to use yours, and we're going to move that there, and then we're going to have a.
So why don't we have her
handheld
read
for-
my cards?
for Jenny? Well, we're going to do Jenny. You want to do the Reverend?
Ginny, your wife?
Jenny,
No, let's keep it real and do.
You want to do your tarot reading? What about Ross?
Do you want me to call her?
Hell, Ross. Let's do Ross's cards.
I'll call
Ross.
Jenny.
Yeah, call Jenny.
Let's do your cards.
Hold on.
Really?
Yeah, dude. I mean, I really do like you. We got a nice banter back and forth.
Okay.
You know, you're
You want to do? Can you do
you're
it?
nice
You got
to look
time?
at. You're pleasant on
I
the
guess I
eye.
got a minute or two.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
What-
it's
what-
going to
what,
take.
you want
How
a
long
time
does it
constraint?
take? 10 minutes? 15? It depends. All right, Madam.
I mean, if
Q
you got to go, dude,
No,
we
I'm-
get the
I'm
fuck
in-
out of
I
here.
got-
You know,
I got
get the
time.
fuck
I got
out of
time.
here. All right, so we're gonna break out into his song. Let's do Ross.
Yes, correct.
Yes, that's
Ross
Ross.
McCoy is his name.
Ross.
All right, Ross
All right.
is going to get his tarot
Yeah,
read.
she fuck
Spoke
Jenny.
my name
Hang
into the
with-
cards.
Yeah. So see, hang out. It's Madam Quinona up next with very special live tarot reading. We're doing it. Madam Quinoa. Oh, what did
Madam
I say?
Quinoa.
Quinona? Quinona Ryder. Oh, I'm mixing up the words. I'm sorry.
But
we're inside a
don't
whiskey.
you,
News. Madam Quinoa.
Why don't we have a mic on her right now?
Well, we
Because-
will, Donkey. Hold on, we will.
All right,
We're
Donkey.
live
Call me
right
Donkey,
now.
really?
We're live.
Well,
Hang
fucking-
tight. We'll go to a song and we'll make all these changes, man. What's
No,
the matter
maybe
with you?
we won't go to
have
a
you
song.
ever?
Now
Yeah.
I got
Have
the
you ever
power.
been on the radio?
I'll
How
get
do you
to,
guys manage to set this stuff up?
Oh, dude, this is what
Wait a second.
makes this real.
We got to
bro.
stay nimble. We got to be able to
Yeah.
move and flow with everything.
That's where we
Anyway,
go hard-hitting
that's-
questions.
There you go. Hard
Bam in your face.
Oh.
All right, so we're going to.
All right, we're going to a track you're bringing us.
Yeah,
the
absolutely.
Reverend's
We're
doing
going
the
into
music.
a Lydia Lunch track called Lady Scarface. Keep your headphones on for a few minutes because this song is fucking amazing. This is part of the whole no wave movement that she created herself. So this is Lady Scarface by Lydia Lunch. So here we go. Make sure this is, sounds right over there, JB. You ready? Here we go.
We had a date, 12th Street and A. If you're gonna be there, don't be late. Instructed as such, without a soft touch. If it would have mattered, it didn't too much. I waited for you a minute or two. But just what kind of a girl do you think I am? Fumbling around a cigarette, smoked it to the ash and then lit up again. Blowing smoke rings, blind in the air. If you're coming, baby, you're just too in arrears. I'm too impatient, and you're just too late. My attention Spanish just not that great. Then this young kind of guy walked right on by me. I couldn't have been more than 16. There's just nothing I can do. You gotta understand. You see, he had this walk, down pat, and no, he wasn't going in my direction, so I just kind of turned around. I had to. I was woman possessed. I wasn't myself. I was so close. I crept like a cat. Visions of seduction lurking under my hat. He was so young, such innocence. If I had control, I didn't feel any yet. I couldn't be heard, not a sound did I make. If this is the real thing, there's just no need to fake. So now was the time, the crucial 8th mile. If I had to do it, it'd be with a smile. A tap on his back, a slip of my belt. He turned around and I knew that the ground would melt. I put on the ice, the smile was gone. Hey baby, you're under arrest.
WJBW.
Inside of Whiskey Lou's, it is Whiskey Lou's Whiskey Lounge, the JB Rev Show. We're doing a live broadcast out of here. We're in the back of the beautiful VIP pool room, and Madam Q has her setup there in front of the all right on the pool table, actually. And we've got Ross McCoy. Ross is going to do it. Don't worry. Ross is going to do the tarot reading with Shannon Holt. You can do another tarot reading if you want.
Yeah.
Later in the night after we
we'll
finish
do you
up this
after
broadcast.
Ross.
We thought we
Yeah.
would. Yeah, we thought we would try to broadcast this live. It's interesting, Madam Quinona.
Yeah.
No, wait.
Quinoa, motherfucker.
Why do I want to say
Quinoa.
Quinona?
Have you not had quinoa?
Who is Quinona? Is Quinona even a word?
That's kind of what it looks like if you look at the word quinoa, but
Oh, so I'm just I'm just saying it wrong. All right.
you are also standing in a puddle of beer mud.
Madam Quinoa. Thank you, Ross, for pointing that out. I'm
It's true.
trying to
Yeah.
get away
what
with
makes
this
it
stuff.
real.
During
It
that
is
song,
what makes it real. Thank you.
That's why we.
Standing in my own pile of beer that I made by trying to help out. But Madam Q, I'll call you. Are you on the mic over there? Can you hear us?
I'm on the mic.
Oh, that's good.
there
You're
she
coming in
is.
good. All right, good. Well, tell us a little bit about yourself, Madam Q. How long have you been doing these tarot readings?
I've been doing tarot readings for about a year and a half. I've been studying tarot for 3 years.
Interesting.
It's great. It resonates with some people. Some people it doesn't resonate. It's for fun and entertainment purposes only.
Okay, glad you said that.
Yeah, I wouldn't make like major life decisions based on
Don't buy stock.
my reading. At least
Based on what
listen to
Don't hurt
other
your children.
readers. As
Okay, so
well.
how long does this process typically take? You'll give us kind of the cliff.
Can be like 10 minutes, 15 minutes.
Okay,
I
all right.
put out
Well, Ross
the
is on-
cards
he's-
intuitively.
He's getting ready to host another show.
He's
tonight,
got
right?
a Fortnite game.
Yeah,
He's got
yeah.
a.
He's very limited on time.
All right, well, let's
So,
get started. Are
all right,
you ready?
Let's do it. Ross, are
Yeah.
you ready?
Oh, yeah, I'm
a
ready.
live
Yeah.
tarot reading inside of
Okay.
Whiskey Lou's. This
No
is
one can
exciting.
see us; they can only hear us.
Okay, that's
You
good
ever
to
done
know.
this before?
That's good to know.
Just kidding. I love ya.
Okay, Ross, say your name.
Hi, I'm Ross.
Spelled like sauce, right?
No, that's
Aren't you
the
on
other
the
Ross.
That is
That's
totally
the other
wrong.
Ross.
Reverend-
That's the other Ross.
Okay.
Cut his mic. We're going to cut
So
your mic.
Raw sauce on the Jim Colbert show.
Okay.
Glad to have you on
Why
on
are
us
you?
with you.
Okay, this is ROSS.
Come on, I'm being funny.
Let her do her thing.
Okay, here we go. I'm going to put out some
we go.
cards.
Okay, she's laying out some cards.
Oh,
on
Looks
the
like
back
we
table.
got the solar system.
I don't know what they look
Ooh,
like.
Look at that.
And the
dab
Hobbit.
card. Oh, kill children card.
We got
And the
Gandalf,
Hobbit
Excalibur,
Oh man.
a centaur of some sort.
Okay.
Is that a Fortnite card?
The sun in reverse and clarified by the Two of Swords. So there's something that is happening or has happened in your life that is kind of upside down, the opposite of happiness, and you're trying to fix it. You have to make a spiritual decision going one of two ways, and either of the ways has an edge to it. So it's like, I don't really want to hurt, this situation because it's going to cut either way.
Yeah, I didn't want to come to Whiskey Lou's, but I didn't want to piss
Did
these
that-
guys off. So
Oh,
yeah, it was
see?
a hard
Is that what it
choice.
is?
It was a hard
right
choice.
on,
Okay.
right on the money.
The next is the Seven of Wands,
7 of
clarified
Wands.
by the Ten of Wands. So, Seven of Wands.
We got a
is
lot
like,
of fucking wands in the mix. That's like
Wands
17
is-
wands if I'm counting right.
Wands are
Yeah.
good.
Wands is like adventures, like great
Okay.
adventures in your life, and
They're
the
gay.
Seven of Wands is a really
They're
auspicious card. It's like when you come into town, you're a hero, and people revere you as like for being famous or for being it's like notoriety.
But when you leave, they're even more happy, and they're like,
And
Let her finish.
all right, sorry.
and Ten of Wands in reverse is like Ten of Wands right side up. I'll start there. Is like
Oh.
nobody can do as good of a job as you can in manifesting and building your dreams.
Okay.
So you're carrying all of these awkward pieces of lumber up a hill to build your dreams, and you're not delegating. You're like, hey, help me carry this load, because you're like, I can do it my damn self. But the problem with that is when you do reach the castle or your dreams, you're injured because you're not
Carried all
delegating.
that damn wood.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, you did all
So-
too much work.
So in reverse it's a more subtle energy than that. It's like saying, it's a message to say, like, delegate jobs to other people to help you achieve your dreams.
Okay.
Yeah, I got my wife on some vacuuming right now.
Okay.
Dyson.
Call back.
Okay. And then the
This
next
reading is brought to you by Dyson.
And then the next card is the Hermit, clarified by 8 of Swords in reverse. So the Hermit card is like, you need to spend a lot of time alone in introspective.
Daddy's got to go smoke some weed out back.
And chilling and meditating or
some
smoking
Fortnite.
weed or whatever your jam is to achieve mental clarity. And that's the only way that you know how to get yourself out of situations. You're very proud. Even though you don't know how to escape certain situations, you're not in a position where you're going to ask for help. Again, it's that same, I want to be independent and do it myself.
Totally.
Okay.
Okay.
The next card is the Ace of Swords. It's
By the way, we're speaking with Shannon Holt.
No, Madame Quinoa.
Oh, that's right.
You
Don't.
big dummy.
Oh, my God.
He
you
gives
just
away
outed
people's...
me.
Yeah, it's Madame Q.
I love your narration, though.
Quinoa.
Thank you.
Madam
Quinoa.
And I love you.
No,
Thank you.
she's
I love you
sincere.
too.
She does this on the
Respect.
side. Okay, go ahead. Get
All right.
cover.
Madam Quinoa.
Quinoa. Okay.
Quinoa.
The Ace of
Quinona.
Ace of Swords is like it's like a spiritual awakening. It's like words have been spoken to you that are like strike you in the heart, and you're like, oh my gosh, now I'm getting it more. I'm getting it, and that's clarified by the Hangman. So you're taking a look at your life ahead and saying, how do I apply these new principles or this new principle or this new word of wisdom to my life.
Okay.
And the message there is to not make a decision, and it might be a decision involving money.
Look into these podcasts a little bit more before I agree.
So-
Don't just say yes.
Lose.
Don't,
yeah.
just hang
Shark.
there.
Oh, yeah, it's true. The Dyson. I
Don't.
should have gone with the shark.
Don't make any hasty decisions
right.
just
Okay,
yet.
fair enough. Good
Too
feed-
late.
So
Too
Ross,
late. It's charged.
real quick, Madam
feedback.
Quinoa.
Yes.
What Ross so far? I mean, this has been pretty right
Yeah,
on, right?
It's definitely.
Yeah,
I mean, there's definitely ways you could apply it for sure.
Absolutely.
Well, all right, interesting. So let's continue our live tarot reading, Madame Q.
Okay, so the next card I think is really significant because it popped out during your shuffle like 3 shuffles ago.
Okay.
It says you're gay. Sorry.
So the Two of Pentacles
Couldn't help it.
is like it's a financial decision. Do I do this? Do I do this? Do I do this? And it's like forever and ever through infinity. You keep going back and forth in your mind about this decision, and
Dyson
that's
shark.
clarified
Dyson
by the Knight of Pentacles. So you're observing, or someone like possibly a younger energy than you is observing before they invest. So they're saying, it could be you, it could be somebody else saying, you know, I'm not quite ready we're doing a live tarot reading here, pal.
This is
Okay. So
Somebody, a random stranger just walked up there.
so sorry about that.
Okay.
So this is my kids watching my wife try to decide to get this Dyson airvac or not, and they're like, you know
Are you
what?
for
You need to take
serious?
that back.
We'll just they're like making the decision for their futures. Like, you know, in the future, we'll just $20 fucking Goodwill.
Well, it could
vacuum
apply
just
to
as
a lot
good.
of stuff you got going on.
I don't think it's a vacuum. I think
Okay.
it's bigger.
Oh.
I think that's a larger,
I like
more
it.
broad picture.
a,
than that.
a
like
capital expenditure.
So the Knight of Pentacles is like, I'm observing before I invest.
Okay.
So that could be you or somebody else, but it's about this decision. Do I, I've got a
Interesting.
certain amount of money. What do I do with it?
Okay.
What?
And then the next is the Five of Swords in reverse. So, and the Knight of Swords on top to clarify. So Five of Swords is like sneaky energy. It's like.
Yeah.
There's a few different ways to interpret that card,
Curious
but
cat.
it's a sneaky way of dealing business,
Trying to
or
run that
it
crime.
could be a thief. But I feel like it's
knew
more
it.
not sneaky. It's like okay.
Dubious?
I can't. I say you want
It's
like
curious cat trying to
say-
ruin my crime.
say you want something. So the shortest distance between point A and point B is a line, right? But you can't just go on the line. You have
You know
to,
what to do with lines.
kind of do like a Pac-Man maze to get to that, make that connection.
Some
Okay.
obstacles in the way.
It's a sneaky way of doing things. It's like
Donald Trump.
It's not like Donald
It's
Trump.
like,
He's
yeah,
like
fuck
devil
that
in
Dyson.
reverse.
I'm getting a shot.
Not really. That's not actually a bad card. But But
It's bad.
On
bro.
top of the 5 of Swords is the Knight of Swords. So
Ooh,
it's like
bad.
charging.
That is really bad.
The Knight of Swords is great.
Oh my
Okay,
God.
so
I've never seen that one before. This is hardcore.
So
Tell 'em.
Knight of Swords is like you're charging full speed ahead to
Death.
to do. It's really hard
There's
for
a
me to
guard
do
for
this
that.
reading. Are you a gargoyle or something?
The Reverend, we'll cut his
I'm
mic.
sorry.
All right, finish.
No.
We'll give her 5 minutes to finish this up here. Hold on.
Thanks. Okay. So it's like you're full speed ahead towards getting through this Pac-Man maze. And then the overall energy for your reading is the 10 of Pentacles in reverse. So it's like saying 10 of Pentacles straight wise up, right? Is like ultimate happiness, the kids, the dog, the happy wife, happy life, rainbow in the sky, the house in the distance. In reverse, it's just like, it's right there, and you're right there. But you have to figure some of these things out before you can get to this place. Now, 10 of Pentacles in reverse isn't a bad card. It's just a little more challenging, and that energy is a little more subtle. And 10 of Pentacles straight wise up is so perfect it's boring. So it keeps your...
There's no challenge.
What?
It keeps, it's an interesting life for you that you've manifested and achieved. And then I'm going to throw a couple oracle cards. Do you have any questions about your reading so far? Anything else you want clarified?
I don't think so.
Like, why you're so boring?
Why am I so boring?
There you go. That's a
That's
good
good.
question.
I think it's a good thing.
Oracle cards
It's
are
longevity, maybe.
Why?
You know, you got a lot of life to live. It can't all be
you have any-
sausage and flowers.
Do you have any yes or no questions that you would like answered?
Oh, this is interesting.
I don't think so.
Oh, my gosh. Okay.
Really? No, yes or no? Come on. Think about it. I got some.
All right,
you
Ross
should do one of
McCoy is
these then.
thinking about yes or no
Oh,
questions.
no. It's a question for you.
Okay.
though.
Well, here's the oracle message that's specific for you, and these
Okay.
are shaman cards.
Okay.
Just you.
So the first one is softly, softly, the tender touch. The second one is in the world, not of the world. And the third one is the perfection of your life. So you can take those to mean direct messages to you. You can decide what they are for yourself.
Yeah. You should decide, because I'm deciding for myself over here what those mean for you. And I got to say, man,
I
you
don't
might
know.
As well, have you ever heard of what's that called when
Divine providence.
no, when you know, what's that code that like you,
The
you
Da
know
Vinci
someone,
Code.
Yeah.
No, when you know someone needs
Yeah.
to be committed to a hospital. What's that code called?
Oh,
5150?
Baker Act.
Baker
Yeah,
Act.
Baker Act. Yeah.
I think the first card was Baker Act.
Okay.
I think the
What's
What's a
second card-
5150? I got to know what that is.
I
now.
think
Yeah.
he's just making that up. That's
No,
in his
not.
grandpa brain.
It was a Van Halen album, but it was also.
I don't know why
All
the
right.
tarot reading made me think of this, but do you guys want to hear some hot gossip I heard on the internet
Yeah.
recently?
Oh no!
Oh, my
Okay,
God,
all
of
right,
course.
Madam Q. Hold on, you're going to finish over there.
Yeah.
Hold on.
This
Go
is
ahead.
why we brought
I'm
this-
done. I'm wrapping it
You're
up.
wrapping it up.
Yeah, I'm wrapped up.
Okay.
Thank you, Madam Q. I'm going to
Did you
consider
enjoy
that. Yeah, it was
the
good.
reading?
It was
good.
awesome.
Okay, boys.
And we love having you on the show every time. I don't mean to call
Thank
you by
you,
that.
Madam Q.
It's
Thank
a
you, Madam Q.
pleasure.
I love
Keep your
you.
cards
I
open.
love
I think
you.
Jenny wants hers read.
Okay, I'm
so
gonna
so hang
reshuffle.
on. Yeah. So
Yeah,
hang
she
on.
does.
Reshuffle for that.
So you guys know about this app, the Nextdoor app? You familiar with this at
Oh,
all?
my God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't dip into it too much, but I get like a little email summary once in a while. And the other day, email summary comes through and is like, when are they reopening the dollar store near us? This dollar store near me has been closed for like a fucking month now.
Okay.
And there's like literally a dollar store poster board sign in the window that says, we're closed, opening again soon, in like dollar store markers, right? So it's been really weird. And then I'm on Nextdoor and I'm looking at this thread about when the dollar store is going to reopen. And deep in the thread, somebody goes, they shut down because of the rats, right?
What?
And then
Yeah.
other people start chiming in. And apparently, I don't know if it's an urban legend or if this actually fucking happened, but
No, it
apparently
happened.
what I've pieced together through the Nextdoor app is that there used to be a Panera Bread next door.
Yep.
And so they left. They bounced across the street.
Right.
And this was apparently because of the rat problem. But
Right.
once they left, there's no 20-pound bags of flour laying around. So these motherfuckers moved next door into the dollar store.
Right, right.
And then the rumor that was circulating on this Nextdoor app was that there was like an apocalyptic shower of rats from the ceiling one day. And that's why they just had
Wow.
to shut down the whole fucking store.
So, no, this is a true story. And you live right there, right?
I'm
Like,
right, I
next
walk
to-
my dog right
Right.
past. I walk my dog
Right.
to that pet supermarket and pass there all the fucking time.
So, what he's trying to hide is that it originally came from his place.
No, they absolutely did.
Yeah, they
the
came
rat
from your
right
house.
next door. There was that horde.
Yeah.
And we finally got it under
Duh.
control. And then guess what? We noticed noticed that the Publix right there, they all moved up to that fucking lake. And that Publix right there put out every rat trap in America around the Publix.
There you go.
Until it shut down the situation there. And guess what? They moved to the fucking dollar store after that.
Yeah.
The fucking dollar store.
We knew that as a drop.
Move the fucking dollar store.
Yeah,
All right,
say
hey,
it one more
listen.
time so we can get a good
I'm
job.
gonna-
Hold on.
Move the fucking dollar store.
And they moved to the fucking dollar store after that.
Dollar store.
All right.
All right,
There you
so
go.
I'm playing this song.
Madam Q, thank you so
Yeah.
much for that reading. Ross McCoy, thanks for doing it.
So-
and now we're going to go.
Listen.
Is this the Reverend's Revelation?
No, well, yeah, let's use it.
All right, we're going to do the Reverend's Revelation.
It's-
Come back.
Here, I'm playing it up from over here.
Yeah, I know.
All right, so this is the Bauhaus because I'm wearing the shirt tonight. But this song is specifically going to shout out to what was your name again?
Ross.
Ross. Ross. This is going. I knew that, Ross. By the way.
Wow.
I knew your name. Yeah. So here we go.
Okay. All right.
Bauhaus, kick in the eye.
The JB Rev Show, the Reverend's Revelation.
Kick in the
We'll
eye.
be right back. WJBW, Orlando, Florida. The first quasi-radio web show.
Wow. Yeah. Oh, yeah. So we're back. JB Rev Show. We're here on location at
Whiskey Lou's.
Whiskey Lou's.
Lou's Whiskey Lounge,
That's
or whatever
right,
you want
that's
to call
right,
it.
that's
We
right.
are here.
So listen.
Been a great show so far.
Dude, we had Lydia lunch.
Started out with a
Awesome.
great, almost hour set with Lydia
Yeah.
Lunch. Ross McCoy came in here and gave us all kinds of
Right.
geeky, funny stuff. And then we had a reading with Madam Q.
Wow, you just take over, right? I'm trying
Well,
to talk about what was going on. and
What was
you
going
just-
on?
Well, just everything you said.
Okay.
Which is great. You
All
just
right.
keep going. Just trying
Ross
to,
McCoy, you got to know him, though. You didn't really know him,
I
Rev.
didn't know-
I think
I
that's
did not
good.
know him.
That's what
No.
we do every week.
Yeah. So now we're going to continue. We're bringing a person in from the bar because we're on location.
That's right.
So we're going to see just how silly it can get here sometimes.
Okay,
at
fair
Uncle Lou's.
Fair enough.
And
Whiskey Lou's.
What is Whiskey
Uncle
Lou's?
Lou's.
Yeah, that's right. Oh my God. Yeah. See, it's already getting silly.
I don't know. Oh yeah, my mic is on.
Yeah, your
Okay.
mic is on. So we're here at Whiskey Lou's. Jim Faraday is the new proprietor of this place, which is awesome. We're the first podcast to ever
That's right.
Be in this building.
That's a privilege.
And yeah, it definitely is. And I feel very proud about that. And we have Madame Q, also known as Quinoa.
Madame Quinoa. Yeah.
And
there.
she's going to, let's go ahead and bring on.
And we have an anonymous Jay.
I'm going to let you talk
Jay.
about this. And here we go. We're going to talk.
I'm Anonymous Jay, and I'm here on the show, on the JB
Word.
Web Show.
JB Rev Show. Yep.
Yep.
Thank you.
And
Thank you
I'm
for doing
revving
that.
it up.
Hey, take those drinks off the table, y'all. Take those drinks off the pool
He's
table. We don't want to
saying,
mess up the pool table.
don't wanna
We're in the
take-
VIP. Yeah,
We're
yeah,
in the
y'all.
VIP
take
area,
your drinks off
very
of there.
important
If you can even
table.
put them on another place, that would be great. Okay, don't put them. Yeah, all right. So we've got a room full of people here,
yes.
and Madam Q is going to do a reading
Gonna do a
for
tarot reading.
Anonymous Jay. Anonymous Jay, thanks
Anonymous Jay
You were
is-
in Whiskey Lou's, hanging out,
Yes.
having fun, shooting pool, doing stuff. And you
Whooping
said
ass.
tarot reading. Do you
Yes.
believe in the tarot? Have
Yes,
you
I
had
do.
your tarot read before?
I have.
Okay.
And it told me my future, but the
Oh.
problem is my future wasn't really fulfilled. So,
Oh, it didn't turn
hopefully-
out like that. Interesting.
No, man, it went on a different level. So
Okay.
let's see what this level brings.
Let's see what happens with
Let's
this.
see what happens
okay,
with this.
so Madam Q is over there. All right, you got.
Madam
Yep.
Q.
Yeah, you can
Okay.
hear
She's
us.
gonna
all.
read
All right,
my
there she
future
is.
here.
All right,
All
so
right,
we're
here
going
we
to leave
go.
it over to Madam Q and Anonymous J to do this
Anonymous
reading. All right.
J and a Madam Q is going to read my reading. She's going to tell me what the hell's going on with my life.
So Madam
Okay.
Quinona.
Quinona and my
quinoa.
mother is
Quinoa,
here.
not
Quinoa.
Quinona.
Okay.
I made
I
that
know.
same mistake.
Quinoa.
People have such a hard time pronouncing
Quinoa.
it,
Quinoa.
reading it. I know.
Quinoa.
That's the joke of
You know
it,
what?
though.
There you go.
Quinoa,
Just a
read
very
my
simple
future.
brain.
Tell me what the hell I'm going to do in
All right.
life.
So we're
and-
here. All right.
Okay.
This is
Madam,
awesome.
That's why I say Madam
This
Q.
is a shit show for
This,
sure.
Madam Q
This
love it.
reading
Madam-
is
is laying out
Love
cards.
it.
All right,
She
we'll
is.
let Madam Q take over. We'll cut our mics a little bit. All right, hold on.
All right.
This reading is for fun and entertainment purposes only.
All right, let's do it.
Okay,
I'm going to
the
tell you
first-
what's going on.
Okay. The first card is the Three of Swords in reverse. Upright, the Three of Swords is a broken heart. So in reverse, it's like the reverse of that. It's like healing from a broken heart.
Okay.
And then the King of Swords it is leaving the picture. He's like a
Split.
sharp tongue individual who, is it's someone who is leaving the picture. Someone who's said harsh things to you.
Yes.
Someone who is uses logic instead of heart feelings.
Yes.
Someone angular.
Yep.
Empress in reverse, and then like a card that indicates the word wants to be written. So I think it's a good idea for you to write your feelings about being a mom, about being a provider, about
You know
being
she's a mom?
About being the Empress card is a card of a
Oh,
mother.
and you're a mom,
I am a
Anonymous.
mom.
You are? Oh, well.
I'm a mom of two.
Yeah. So I feel like to get less mixed up to just write like you used to write, but you're not writing as much now.
No, I'm not.
So that's why it's in reverse. So I would get back to
Interesting.
that to instigate healing. Also,
I'm
like
starting to.
tonight's the super moon.
Yes, I see it.
So
I
it's
see
like
it.
super moon in Virgo.
I saw
was
it. I saw it
amazing.
in the sky. It's
So it's a great
clear as
night.
day.
So it's a great night to manifest your dreams by writing down what it is that you want out of life.
Yeah.
And making a pact with yourself that you're gonna
Succeed.
achieve your goals
My
and your
goals.
dreams and your ambitions. And then we have Seven of Discs in reverse. So Seven of Discs is like
Do I have
like
hope?
It's like of course you have hope, and the projection of your life can change regardless of what track you're on, we're on, are going to be on. It's not set in stone. It's just cards.
Okay.
So, again, it's for fun and entertainment purposes only. But Seven of Discs, it right side up, is somebody who rains down money on you. It's like whenever I get the Seven of Discs, it's like a client. It's like a $5,000 gig. It's like a big opportunity. So this is someone who used to do this for you, who's not doing that for you anymore.
Yeah.
And then King of Wands, because of someone who's like a party time king, full of like sexual energy and sexual frustration and fire and just. It's because of this other king. And because there's like a king on either side of the reading, it could be brothers, it could be the same person, it could be different aspects of the same person.
Oh, wow. So deep.
Page of Discs is, it's like a new baby.
Okay.
It's like I mean,
it could happen.
All right,
man.
keep it down over there.
It could
just
happen.
a Page of Discs is like, it doesn't necessarily have to be a new baby. It could be a baby though.
Okay.
It's like saying it's a young energy with
Coming
with a life full of it's at any rate. The Page of Discs is a beautiful card, and the future for this child is the sun. So that's like the most positive card in the deck. It's a card of happiness, fulfillment, ultimate joy. It's really beautiful. And then the Temperance card is a card that's the message there is everything in moderation.
Okay.
The other message that the Temperance card is like love, joy, peace, happiness, guardian angels, that kind of energy. And then to clarify, that is the World. It's in reverse, though. So it's like, in order to manifest your dreams, and in order to have, the world as your oyster. And this is a beautiful card. It looks kind of like you.
Oh, my God, it does.
So it's saying that everything in moderation, and you may want to adopt like a practice of meditation is my prescription for that. There's a wonderful comedian on YouTube named Kyle Cease that I follow. He's awesome. And meditating is really simple, and I listen to him for guidance on that. And then the Ace of Discs in reverse is like the seed of an idea about like a new job or a new work opportunity. It's in reverse, so maybe you've had problems finding a new job.
Yes, I have.
And then on top of that is a Six of Discs.
So what's that mean?
I'm stumped on that. I'm going to draw another card.
Okay, draw another card.
I'm not sure.
It's okay.
I think it's like, be careful what you wish for.
Yeah.
The advice there, I need to reshuffle those. Hang on.
It's okay.
Here, I got.
It's okay. You do your
I will
thing.
shuffle this one. This is my Angels of Love. Quinoa,
Okay, she's
bitches.
shuffling the cards right now. This is shuffling.
Quinoa,
This is going
bitches.
in for more. This
Yeah.
is the best
These are the
version of
oracle
this
cards.
because it's unadulterated, and we're doing this reading. Okay.
Yeah.
For real.
Okay,
And I'm
here
still
we go.
here, too.
Okay, here we go.
The Reverend.
I'm still here.
We're here.
Okay, the advice here in regards to the new job is slow down. When you are excited, you get ahead of yourself. Take some time and allow things to unfold.
Okay.
So I would use that.
I'm not ready.
Well, I would use the energy of the moon tonight to write down what it is that you want in your dreams and manifest that energy. But thank you. And slowing down first in order to set yourself straight on a path to a fulfilling life.
Yeah.
Do you have any questions about your reading?
Well, I mean, what do you think? What do you think I should do as far as my life? I mean, do you think I should pursue the beauty career, or do you think I should go to do something else?
Well, I
more
think she's kind of
fulfilling?
saying, too, you got to be really aware of all of your responsibilities for nurturing life and everything in moderation. And
everything in moderation.
And take your job search a little slower, maybe.
Yeah, I think you're right, Shannon, because I'm going for it.
Madam Q.
And Madam Q, and I'm going for it too fast.
I mean,
I'm
I think
ahead
that
of my game.
I feel like I don't need to read cards to just tell you that, you get one time you go around that we know of that you're going to remember.
Yeah.
And you got to follow your dreams. You got to say, this is what I'm going to do. Be less concerned about the financial aspect and just work every day putting effort in towards, what it is that you want to do. And don't focus all your energy on just one avenue. Okay. Imagine, this is a pool table.
Oh,
so
imagine
cool. 6 mason jars setting out in front of you.
Okay.
And each mason jar is a different aspect of your life. Each day, push the mason jars forward a little bit each day. Not just one. Don't put all your eggs in one basket.
Madam Q, relationship-wise.
Do you have a question about your relationship?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
I have a question about my relationship. I don't know if he's ready to take the next step as far as being responsible for himself and myself as far as taking care of their new life
Anonymous
that
J.
we have created.
Embrace your emotions. Don't push down your feelings or judge your emotions. Be authentic to who you are. You are asked to be real and true pertaining to who you are and how you feel. Those are the 2 messages for that. And then I'll pull one of these bad boys.
Okay.
Okay, so what deck are you pulling from now?
This is
a different deck.
This is I forget the name of this deck. This deck was a gift, so it didn't come with packaging. But it's like a little medieval style groovy deck. It's the groovy deck.
Okay, so now you're trying to really help her answer a question, pulling these tarot cards. This is interesting. Shannon Holt, sponsored by ShannonHolt.com. It's Madam Q.
Madam Q.
8 of Cups. There's better things in the future than has been in the past. The future is bright. Page of Swords in reverse. That guy doesn't know what the fuck he's doing. And to unfuck yourself, get away from that, because he's a child.
Oh, shit. You're right, man. You're right.
Yeah, and it's just fighting. It's fighting.
It is
fighting. So release yourself from that energy.
All right. That's good advice. Good
Yeah.
advice.
Find a real man or a real partner. I don't know if you're into dudes or girls or what, but
I'm into all kinds of people. I don't care.
Okay, find a real person who's gonna be fair and just and stand up for you and
not be a child.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This guy, child man, this man baby, he can barely lift the sword. He's like about to go out to battle and he can barely pick up the metal.
Interesting. Okay. All right.
What about me? Can I
Fair
pick
enough.
up the metal?
All right, so last closing out, anything else you want to Anonymous J wants to know what
can I pick up the metal?
How are you going to be with what kind of question do we need to ask here, Madam Q?
I don't know. What's your question?
Can I lift up the sword?
Is she going to be like that guy that can't lift up the sword, or can she actually do it?
Can I actually do it by myself?
Okay, all right. She's shuffling the cards.
Yes.
She's shuffling the cards, trying to get a good read on
Oh,
it.
here we go.
Here we go.
Shuffle.
I mean, for real, man.
For real. Shit is getting real, bro.
I hope I can lift this sword up by myself.
You're just exhausted right now. So
I am, but I'm going to keep trying.
It's a process. But start the process with writing.
Yeah.
Start the process with manifesting.
Yeah,
Did you enjoy your reading? Did you
There you go.
resonate with
All
it?
right.
Madam
Yes, I
Q.
did.
All right,
Madam
thank you, Anonymous J. Madam Q. Thank you so
Madam
much
Q.
Hey,
doing
give me that shot.
doing two readings here tonight. Madam Q, what's the best way for
Madam
people
Quinoa.
to connect with you if they want to experience or do a tarot reading or get some insight? Madam Q.
Let's talk about that.
Madam Q, real quick, in closing, thank you, Anonymous J. I hope you
Yeah,
got
thank
something
you.
from that.
You're
Hope you got
welcome.
something from that.
You're
Don't
welcome.
for-
On the web show.
Thank you.
If you want a
Right.
reading, you can email me at Madam Quinoa Knows All at Gmail.
Madam-
And quinoa is spelled Quinoa.
Thank you.
Bitches.
Yeah. Quinona. It's spelled like quinona.
That's right.
All right. You're right. All right.
Quinona.
You're right.
All right, so let's gonna wrap this up.
right.
Let's talk about how awesome this show's
Thank
been.
you, Anonymous J.
You're welcome.
Anonymous J.
Yeah,
Welcome,
thank you all.
JB.
Thank you all. Thank you guys.
Thank you, Ross.
Here at Whiskey Lou's.
Yeah, Whiskey Lou's. Thank
Whiskey
you.
Lou's, a
Jim
badass
Faraday.
place. They got pool tables, jukeboxes here. It's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Fucking awesome.
Bye,
I'm
guys.
whooping ass.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
That's
I
true.
got a tarot reading, and
Word.
there
Thank
goes
you.
my life.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
So, hey, so it's once again we started with Lydia Lunch, talked with Ross. I mean, this has been awesome.
It's
so
a
we're gonna
great
close
show.
out with
It's a great
part of the whole no wave scene that
Oh, that's
Lydia
great. Okay.
started.
Very cool.
This is a song called "Blind" by Swans.
Oh, perfect. All right.
All
Thank
right.
you, The Rev.
Yeah.
WJBWnetworks.com. We'll catch our sponsor crawl next week. We got a lot of exciting in-studio guests and a couple more live remotes for you where Season 9 rages on.
That's
It's
what
the
it's
JB Rev Show, live from Whiskey Lou's. We will be seeing you next week. We've got a live session in studio with Bao of Orlando Weekly, and he's got a badass musical background as well that people will learn about.
Yep,
So,
yep.
all right,
Word.
Rev, let's run into
All
it.
right, here we go.
Yeah, JB Rev Show. Let's go.
It's playing JB Rev Show.
Now some of us are weak, and some endure. Some people live their life with a violence that's pure and clean. But I saw a man cry once, down on his knee, in the corner of a darkened cell, and his pain meant nothing to me. But I was younger then, and young men never die. When I walked out in the sun, I was strong, clear-minded, and blind. Now don't say a prayer for anyone, it doesn't do any good. Please don't ask me a question, you'll just be misunderstood. And if you could step inside me, you'd feel what hatred brings. And if you saw with my eyes, you'd see what self-deception means. I was younger once, and I created a lie. Though my body was strong, I was self-deluded, confident and blind. Now show some pity for a week of will. Because when we're drinking, we can never be filled. Show some understanding for the lonely fool. Because when I'm drinking, I am out of control. I was never young, nothing has transpired. When I look in the mirror, I feel dead, I feel cold, I am blind. I'm blind.
WJBW, Orlando, Florida. The first quasi-radio web show.
Wow. Yeah, hey.